Hit IQ, our man Hugo Higginbotham, and its game-changing Protect Concussion Management System, which you can use, by the way, the code VAFA50 to get $50 off at hitiq.com. So clearly, there's some upstairs that are taking notice of your performance in your rookie year in VAFA Media, Hugo Higginbotham.
Yeah, I think they call that sympathy, Paddy. But, geez, I could have used that back in the day as well. Maybe I'd be able to speak properly now with a couple of concussions here and there. But no, great to have them on board. And you watch, the sales will go through the roof. They'll be flying out. They won't want to end up like me.
Plenty of sustenance for Hit IQ. It's great to see Matthew Donald, who's back at the Snake Pit for a second successive week. Matty, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Paddy. Afternoon, Hugo. Good afternoon, everybody. And I have no clients, so clearly I've got to up my game over the back half of the home and away season. But this is it now. We take the turn into the second half of the home and away season. We've got a lot of great games today, including this one. Two teams vying for that spot inside the top four. And as you said, Paddy, with a win today and a little bit of luck over the course of the round, both of these sides could find themselves in that top four spot. And two teams as well who are coming off arguable games of the season last year. Well, as you mentioned, I was at the Snake Pit last week, St Bernard's and Uni Blues, and what a hectic final quarter that was, culminating in our first draw of the season. Either side could have won it several times over. And Uni Blacks knocking off Old Brighton, the first team to get the win over Old Brighton this season. So they'll absolutely be riding on a high, and they're driving a huge wave of momentum as well today, the visitors, in terms of their recent form over the past month. So I can't wait to sink my teeth into this match. It's going to be an absolute ripper.
And it was great to hear you during the week on the For the Love of the Game podcast. Unpack it all. Hugo Higginbotham, you've had a week to look at the University Blacks. 4 wins on the trot, some serious scalps among those victories. Take me through Dale Bauer's squad.
Well, they can't do much more than what they did last week. Beat the top of the ladder. They're unbeatable when they've done it. But they've got an amazing ability to stay in every game. They never get blown away. And it must be a lot of belief there. But some interesting things. Their first for centre clearances are Bernie. So what are they going to do today? I know that the Blacks, they love to put pressure around the ball, and pressure causes turnovers, but they don't use the ball a lot. They've got a minus 38% differential in possession. So that's very interesting. It must be a very precise game they use, but the ability to stay in the game, as I said, that's going to be something I'm really curious to watch today. And there might be some excitement machines out there.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But another interesting one for the Blacks is they're second in the comp for intercept possessions. So they must set up very well behind the ball, but with that comes a lot of pressure on the ball. So they're working well together, working as a team, and a 4-game winning streak. Wins become contagious.
The coach of the University Blacks is Dale Bauer. He's boundary side with our boundary rider today, Raj Johnston.
Thanks, Paddy. Joined by Uni Blacks coach Dale Bauer. Dale, thanks for your time. Knocking off the previously undefeated Old Brighton last week, has that given a lift amongst the group?
Oh, I think every win gives you a bit of a lift. To beat a good team, yeah, even more so. But we've got another contest ahead of us today.
So what have you learnt from the last time you played St Bernard's? The result didn't go your way that day. What have you taken to today's game?
Oh, we felt like they just got us with work rate. They got us with energy around the ball, and we couldn't get enough pressure on. They were able to move the ball too quickly, too cleanly into their forwards and score. So we need to make it more of a tough battle around the contest this week.
And we do believe you do have some players who are versatile. They can play across different positions. Do you think you might need to use that today?
It's always there if we need it. So we'll be willing to flip guys one end to the other if we need to. If it's not team's not working, or we think we can get an advantage by doing it, we'll do it. Yeah, we don't have any really pre-planned stuff. It's just up our sleeve if we need it.
Just finally, any changes to your team from last week?
Yeah, we've got Valpede in, James Clark back in, and Henry Robertson back in this week. Yeah, so it's they're good players. So that's a bonus.
We cannot wait. Promises to be a great game today. All the best, Dale.
Thanks, Raj. Good on you, mate.
Back to you, Paddy.
Thank you, Raj Johnston there, and Dale Bauer by the boundary. This is the Saturday warm-up, all thanks to Mecca, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week across Greater Melbourne and regional Victoria since 1959. Freddie Valpede, I'm excited to see today, Hugo and Matthew. He's an East Point boy. He plays for Footscray in the VFL. Turns 20 today, so a nice little birthday visit perhaps for him to the Snake Pit.
got Freddie there. We've had a lot of birthdays recently,
We
haven't we?
have
But,
Charlie Cotter a few weeks ago, Matthew.
But absolute excitement machine, I think he is. And we won to watch. There's a lot of great players out there we want to watch today. But there's one that's a marking machine that I reckon might give us a real exciting one, and that is away marking. I just think it mightn't be in the first quarter, mightn't be in the second, but you watch that. And I think, Paddy, you better have your calling shoes on, because it could be a big one. If he goes up in the air, we might hear some really good calls, I imagine.
Away has promised me mark of the century.
He's promised you.
I'm putting that on him. He asked if I tipped him. I did say I've tipped him. He said, I'll look after you in the skies then. But away marking the number 26 for the University Blacks. You can hear him in pretty much every sting that VAFA Media produces because he's a frequent flyer and he loves to try and get as high as he possibly can to bring down some absolute screamers. Matthew Donald, I know you're excited to see him play today.
Oh, absolutely. There are a catalogue of players that I'm keen to see for Uni Blacks. One point that you mentioned earlier, Hugo, that I wanted to touch on. In terms of the way that Uni Blacks played last week against Old Brighton, now Old Brighton are averaging, or they've got 904 points for this season, so averaging over 100 points a game, first in the competition, restricted to 64 last week by Uni Blacks. And it goes to the defence that you speak of, and there's a lot of players who are very good at winning the ball back. And a good defence who can intercept the ball is going to be so crucial to this game, but it's also the way the modern game works in terms of being so important to helping teams win premiership. Sam McKenzie, for instance, 12 intercept possessions, 6 intercept marks for him last week. Max Gray, 10 intercept possessions. Away making 5 intercept possessions, 2 intercept marks. Sam Macklin-Evans, 8 intercept possessions. So they've got so many players who are capable of winning the ball back. St Bernard's want to win this game today. They've got to be so precise with how they use the ball going forward. If they want to blast it inside 50, go with the aimless bomb into attack, the Blacks will just pick it off all day long.
Yeah, I think Chalkley was a big one in that as well. I think he's been instrumental back there. I know Dale's mentioned that he's really developed and grown as a player. And when you've got players like that behind the ball, it encourages everyone around too. They know you've got the confidence, so they can back themselves in, and then you get that release possession as well. So, I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch. One thing is, if they're intercepting the ball, that means the opposition's got it. So if the opposition make a plan for that, know that they're a good intercepting team, maybe try and run and carry through that intercepting zone, that could be something that would be interesting to see how that plays out today. Because I do know that the St Bernies do have a very good lateral switch and a run and carry through the middle of the ground.
So St Bernard's coach Steve Alessio not too far away from joining us boundary side with Raj Johnston on the Saturday warm-up, all thanks to Mequicare. One thing I am very interested in today is the contested possessions battle, and on the inside I spoke to Steve Alessio across the week and he reckons the team that wins the contested possessions battle today wins the game. It's how they like to play the Snow Dogs. Last time out, back in round 2 over at the Melbourne University Oval against the Uni Blacks, they were plus 25 in contested possessions, plus 20 in clearances, and kicked 8 goals to 1 from stoppage. So that's their key area of improvement, I suppose, from last time out, is just to extend that advantage. A 46-point victory, of course. And it was an interesting win because we saw the University Blacks lose a few players in that game. Nick Karras went down with a season-ending ACL injury, so that's affected how they're going to line up in the middle of the ground, the University Blacks. And Louis Vesio was an early exit as well after a really nasty cut to the mouth. It's a different University Blacks team that we're used to, and I'm sure Steve Alessio would agree with that assessment because they are in really good nick. 4 wins on the trot. They've turned their season around. They're having a good shot at the top 4. My eyes drawn to Charlie Vade today, Hugo Higginbotham, the Big V representative last year, key member of the inside troop for St Bernard's, loves to be able to kick goals, advance forward from the stoppage as well as win the ball on the inside. He wears the number 9 for the Snowies. He's important for me.
Yeah, look, definitely. Look, they're very, very good around the middle of the ground. And you look at one player, Soro in the ruck. You know, he is an absolute champion. So I'll be looking to see him have first use the ball for the midfielders today.
More of your thoughts in a second, Hugo Higginbotham. Let's get down now to Raj Johnston on the boundary line. He's been joined by the coach of St Bernard, Steve Alessio. We haven't quite got Raj there, apologies. Might be an issue just with our deck. Just hold sway for a moment, Raj. We'll return to you in a couple of seconds. Standing by the boundary. Let's get down now to Raj Johnston, who's on the boundary for us with Steve Alessio.
Got me now?
Got you now.
Yep, thanks Paddy. I'm with St Bernard's coach Steve Alessio. Steve, your side hasn't won at home this season, but wouldn't today be a perfect day to do that with so much on the line?
Well, it's a nice day for starters. Pretty good. Gentle breeze down one end. Yeah, the boys are locked in. They know it's going to be a very hard-fought game. Blacks have a great defence. You know, they've been really good over the last month, probably best in the league when it comes to their defensive acts. So, so we've got a game on our hands, that's for sure.
What's been the wash-up after last week and the feeling amongst the team after the draw?
Yeah, look, it draws. You can sort of go one way or the other. We're pretty positive around sort of coming out with the 2 points and where it's placed us on the ladder. So we just have to make sure we try to capitalise on it this week and make the most of it.
And just finally, any changes to your personnel from last week?
Yeah, look, we went in. We're going in hopefully unchanged, but we've had the ruckman Matt Soro pull out late. So Simon O'Keefe, who's our ruckman from the reserves, has come up.
Thanks for your time. All the best today.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks to Steve Alessio and Raj Johnston there on the boundary. So that's a really interesting late change. We were just talking about Matthew Soro, Hugo Higginbotham. He's out of the game.
Well, I'm devastated. I can't believe that. I mean, I did that much work on his whole body of work, and I just got to throw it out. So I've got nothing now, Paddy. No, but that is, geez, that's a win for the Blacks, isn't it? I mean, he's one of the most dominant rucks in the competition. But I know I was just speaking to one of the Snow Dogs faithful out here, and O'Keefe is a very accomplished ruckman. He's played 200-odd games, so, hey, what a great chance. What an opportunity for him to turn back the clock, the old fella.
I was just about to say, watch out for the combination of Sora and then Tom Sullivan, little Tommy Sullivan, number 8. Their work in terms of the synergy from rucking and roving last week was really impressive. Don't worry about that now, because you're not going to see any of that today. But O'Keefe in game 201 for the club.
There we go.
We saw his 200th game last week. He had a couple of opportunities to get a goal. We really wanted him to get one late, couldn't do so, but he's got a big opportunity today. This is a huge game for St Bernard's in their season, a big opportunity for him against a very good opponent as well in the ruck. It'll be a good contest between he and Angus Rana.
Yeah, Angus Rana, and then the young fella out of North Albury, Jack Drummond, the 22-year-old who's the backup ruck for the University Blacks. It is worth noting for first-time listeners for the SEN match of the day, there are 2 Tommy Sullivans out there today for St Bernard's. The number 8 is the 3-time best and fairest winner who's been around these parts for a long, long time, who could have taken up an athletics career at Olympic level a few years ago, but now he just makes a name for himself across the half-forward line. And then he's the little one, and you've got the big one in the number 25 who plays full-back.
So there's little Tommy Sullivan, who's the number 8, the diminutive one. Sully, who's the 25. But in between those 2 Tom Sullivans, we've also got a Dom Sullivan.
Yes.
so it's not very helpful. He's a number 35. You'll probably see him sort of across between midfield and half-back throughout the course of the day as well. So for those playing along at home, if Sullivan's getting on the ball a lot, a bit too much, it's because there's 3 of them out there.
They're not related, are they?
I hope not, because that could create some other issues.
You wouldn't name both your sons Tom, would you? That's even walking. Tom and Thomas.
No.
Oh, goodness me. Anyway.
Let's push it down once more to our man on the boundary line, Raj Johnston, as the players break from their huddles. Raj, conditions at ground level at the Snake Pit?
Yeah, Paddy, it's a bit of a colder one today. Top of 14. Sun's out, though. Though down here on ground level, away from you guys, there is a bit of a breeze at the Buckley Street at the end, so we expect to see scores favouring that end, but that could change. We'll keep an eye on it.
Raj, who's won the toss? Who's kicking which way?
Sorry, I might have just missed that one, Paddy, while I was talking to Steve Alessio. Could you help me out there?
That's all right. So it looks to me, with St Bernard's Tommy Sullivan in the number 8 and Marcus Holland walking to the Buckley Street end of the ground, that St Bernard's will be kicking to the Buckley Street end, which is the area of the ground advantaged by a bit of a wind. Raj, a question for you. What are you looking out for in today's contest as far as matchups goes? What's the significance, I suppose, of the University Blacks' ability to switch players from one end of the ground to the other?
Yeah, I think as you said, Paddy, contested possession is going to play a big part in today's game. Both these sides well matched on the ladder. Plenty of centre matchups I can see forming now, but as you said, as the game goes on into the third quarter, particularly second half, many of those Blacks players could move around, so it really just depends on the state of the game.
Thanks, Raj. Looking forward to catching up with you across the course of this game. And if you're here at the Snake Put, a reminder that if you've brought your headphones, you can tune into us on the SEN Stadium technology, which allows you to hear us in real time. No latency, no delay. You can tune into the commentary of the game as it happens here in Essendon's West. Matthew Donald, Hugo Higginbotham, last-minute tips.
I just noticed that Moorfield's gone to Watson, so that's going to be a match-up to watch today. But I think the Blacks.
I'm going with the Blacks as well, and we're underway here at the Snake Pit. Tossed up. O'Keefe, the late inclusion, got a tap down to it initially, although the clearance is going to be won here by the Blacks. Although going back is Sully. Big Tom Sullivan takes the mark at centre-half back. We'll be able to relieve pressure here for the Snow Dogs early. Drives it straight up the line, trying to make the most of the breeze early. Kicks to centre-half forward. It's gone over the head there of Watson. And now the ball's at ground level. Watson had it again. There was Iamano. Watson again on hands and knees, trying to flick it out. although it's come out. Clearing kick out towards half-back has worked. Mark taken here for the Blacks, and they'll be able to rebound here and try and drive it inside attacking 50. There weren't too many options going forward, so they had to pull the kick at the last. Hughes was in there, but he was dispossessed straight away, trying to fend out of trouble. Getting a kick away there was O'Neill. Bouncing ball up towards half-forward. Good strong tackle there by Smith. He wraps it up, and the umpire says, give it to me. It'll be a ball up at centre half-forward for the Uni Blacks.
Very good tackle there, but I just noticed the Blacks came up to the middle of the ground and once again didn't have that avenue to goal, but they were very smart the way they held it up around half-forward there.
So repeat stoppages, 48 metres out from the University Blacks goal. Away macking at full forward, Michael Caven's got the job on him for the Snow Dogs. That'll be a match-up to watch today. Charlie Vagues after the footy at ground level. It'll get locked beneath him and Kane Loftus, the umpire taking the time, and now the ball does come out. Cassidy snaps it. Sinclair, no, got a hand to it. It was touched off the boot, wouldn't have counted. And now the St Bernard's defence will tackle the ball to the ground. It's Gwynn locking it up. We've still 40 metres out from the University Blacks goal. All for the Moonee Ponds Club, yet to score in this contest. We've played a minute. James Clark snaps out of the contest towards the top of the square. It drifts out the back. Macking is around the place. Caven and Holland for St Bernard's. Holland was clean. Runs away from O'Neill. His kick was interrupted on its way through. Loftus now with it. He might throw a boot at this one, Kane Loftus. It's now locked beneath his knees. Hands and knees. Macking doing some tackling on Dom Sullivan. And we'll get a stoppage right half forward, 45 metres out from the Blacks goal, Hugo.
Just noticed a couple of times, the umpire really happy to let that play out a bit of wrestling on the ground, so it'd be interesting to see when the first one's called. Here we go, that's high. Oh, Mackie!
Oh, he's gone for a big fly. Tonji at ground level. Smith, Vesio over the top of the footy, 10 metres out from the goal. It's cleared by Delizio, not too far. This has just been living in the Blacks forward half for this passage. Holland is trying to fire it out to left half back. He'll get a free kick for high contact. And Marcus Holland will take it 40 metres out from the defensive goal square.
So they're able to breathe a sigh of relief here for a moment. Holland goes short. Just happy to just slow it down a little bit. It's been a chaotic opening few minutes, this match. Here, big top Sullivan. Looks to switch the play. Dangerous kick. Tongi's got to do well here. He's got to beat a couple. He does pretty well, actually. He does win the footy. Hands it over to Barati. Runs through the centre. Spears a kick up to half forward. That's good. Watson's marked it. He might be too far out to score even with the breeze. Ted looks to spear a kick in towards full forward. He's got it over the top of the defence. Great spearing kick on the left foot by Matty Watson. And he's set up an opportunity for that man, Charlie Vague. He'll line up about 25 metres out directly in front.
Geez, great work by Tungy there over the back. But that man, Barati, he's going to be dynamic on that wing today. How many times are we going to see Barati to Watson? Hopefully not that far from goal, but that was just beautiful work by the Snow Dogs there. Just working their way back, not panicking, and just that sneaky one over the top. They very, very impressive there.
Kicked an excellent goal into the breeze last week, Charlie Vague. He's kicked one with it this time. The opening goal of the game. It's a great start for the Snow Dogs. 3.5 minutes gone here on the opening term, on the scoreboard in the opening term for the Moonee Ponds Club. St Bernard's 1 straight 6, Uni Blacks yet to score.
So it was, once again, just the way that the Snow Dogs, you know, they transitioned across goal and didn't panic, but some very good play there. So Tungy beat 2 players there with, you know, very, very just determined play, but going to be an interesting one. The Blacks had a lot of the ball in the forward half, so good to get one on the board early.
So they've got the win in the first quarter, St Bernard's, which is going to the right of your radio dial towards the Buckley Street end of the ground. Charlie Vague making the most of it to start us off. So the Snow Dogs by 1 straight kick. 4 minutes gone for the Moonee Ponds Club. In the middle of the ground we go. O'Keefe, the late inclusion. He looks pretty spry. Want it down in the Gwyn direction. Darkus took it away. Loftus goes inside 50 for the Blacks. Backing back is Smith. Maybe was pushed into the pack. St Clair's after it, as is Vesio. 2 Snow Dogs down in back play as the umpire calls a stoppage. And we might have to just stop the game for a moment. Tongi is down.
I think it's Hughes is the other one.
Yeah, the skipper of the Snow Dogs, Mitch Hughes, who was motionless for a good 10-15 seconds. He's now on his haunches. Tongi looks like it might be a shoulder ailment. Hughes is not looking in a great way at the moment, I'm sad to say, for the Snow Dogs.
Elbow.
Yeah, Tongi to his feet, holding the left elbow. Raj Johnston's going to be busy on the boundary line for Autosport Victoria. And Tongi looking like he is trying to push away the trainers, Hugo.
I think that was an elbow from Tongi into Hughes' head. That's what I think's happened there. So it was a hard contest, but Tongi seems all right. And Hughes is waving the trainers. Is he? No, they're escorting him to the sideline there.
Did the umpire just signal a blood rule there? I think he may have done. Yeah, there is a bit of claret coming from Mitch Hughes there, so he'll have to get that sorted.
I think it's coming from the back of his head, courtesy of his teammate's elbow.
It was a huge contest across centre-half forward for the Blacks, and then Hughes probably going with the flight of the footy was met by a pack of players. Tongi looks to have shaken off that elbow. It might be a stinger. He's taken his place next to Matt Grocott in the forward pocket, so hopefully he'll be able to continue on. Mitch Hughes will have news on as this game continues through the first quarter. So the Snow Dogs potentially a man down just 6 minutes into this game, Matthew.
And it's tossed up here at half forward again for the Blacks. Tapped down by O'Keefe. Well moved and snapped towards goal. It's going to go across the face. It was an effort that was wide there from Ackland Evans, a minor score, so one behind to one straight 6 in the opening term scoreboard for the Moonee Ponds Club. It's still the Snow Dogs who lead, and Caven's going to bring the ball back into play. It was not a great kick. It's gone over the head of a couple of players down there. It's going to be one back by the Blacks, dribbling towards the boundary line. It's not going to go out of play, Hugo. It's instead going to remain in dispute. Here trying to crash through was Vesio. And a whole bunch of players diving on top of the football, and now the umpire will call for it.
Yeah, I might have gone a bit earlier on that one, but now that Pecci's so angry about those calls, I love seeing those go to the boundary.
So tossed up here between wing and half forward. Rana got a good run at it, handed it down, and then it was O'Neill who tried to flick it on with the hand pass. Now it's trickling towards the forward 50 here for the Blacks. Ball still hasn't quite gone over the line of the 50 arc at least. And the umpire will call for it once more. We'll get another stoppage.
There's a lot of pressure around the ball, isn't there? Once that ball's on the ground, I think it's going to be a stoppage every day.
So Rana straight down to Vague, who thought better of the kick, gave the handball away to Ethan Schumann, who kicks straight to Aleo of the University Blacks at centre-half back for his squad. He spreads it real wide. Matty Grocott in the 83 today, as opposed to his usual number 4. Couldn't pick it up. Big tackle there laid. That looked like Valpede out there in the far wing. Neutral territory. Aleo goes again, forces the handball forward. Blacks go through. Valpede's handball no good. Tommy Sullivan, that's the number 25 for St Bernard's, got it to Vague. And they'll move it through Watson now. The Snowies outer side wing, ends up in the hands of Marcus Holland. And he has a lead up front. That's Tom Sullivan.
Still a long way from goal out there. There's a big ground, isn't it? Very wide.
So the number 8 for the Snowies drives it deep inside 50. McNichol's down there, as is Robertson. It gets out the back, and Conlon on the third attempt, Hugo, takes it 35 metres out from goal at left half forward.
Now, if you look at this ground as well, that's a very deep, wide pocket, so that's a hard kick. I mean, as Peachy would say, there's plenty of daylight between the goals, but from out there, there's not much. He's that tight, it could get stuck between the posts here, Paddy.
He could. So Conlon, 8 goals on the season. Last time he had 12 disposals, 2 goals, and he will certainly get one today because he's been advanced. Oh, he won't. Sorry, pardon me. He's gone sideways to Holland. I thought he'd been given 50.
Trying to get your attention, but you weren't watching the play, Paddy. But that's all right. Just one other one on Matthew Watson. Loving his game early. He's pushing higher up the ground. He was stayed home forward here last week and was well held, but he's getting up the ground and getting involved in the chains, and already been a really positive start from him.
So it's an improved angle here for Marcus Holland, 45 degrees, but he's going to have to kick it from the paint of 50. Here he comes in the blue boots, drives it high and long and into the right-hand goalpost. He wasn't far away there, Marcus Holland. St Bernard's 1-1-7. The University Blacks just the one behind. We've played 8.5 minutes in the first term for the Moonee Ponds Club.
So the reliable Moorfield at a fullback steps into the field of play and goes short with an effective enough kick to Clark. He goes back to Moorfield, up by Deems at 15.
He did.
Back to Clark, so just a little bit of a kick-to-kick game here between Moorfield and Clark. Maybe to just hold on to the footy.
Snow Dogs are doing a really good job of taking away the short, easy options now.
So Clark does go down the line. Big fly from Rana, got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Little Tommy Sullivan's in there, but the ball trickles over the boundary line and will get a throw in.
Really impressed with the defensive work of the Snow Dogs there. They had absolutely nothing up there, the Blacks, so they've started really well, the Dogs, haven't they?
Yeah. With the advantage of a breeze kicking to the Buckley Street end. Sorry, Hugo.
No, that's right. Even though this is not their favourite ground at the moment, I don't think they're going very well at home this year, are they?
No, still looking for their first win of the season at home. They have got points here. A draw last week, of course, against Uni Blues. Tommy Sullivan again, hands it over to Schumann, rode the tackle well, then looks to set a kick inside 50. Doing well, dropping the mark there at the last though was Chalkley, and now it's a snap towards goal. Umpire touched off the boot and it's gone through for a minor score anyway. So they've extended their lead again. It's out to 7 points here on the Moonee Ponds Club scoreboard in this opening term. We've played 10 minutes, 1-2-8 the Snow Dogs, Uni Blacks, 1 behind.
So Moorfield from the last line, starting defensively. Of course, we've seen him have a go up forward this year, Hugo, to good effect.
Yeah, great swing man he is, and he had to jump up the hill to get the ball there. The patron didn't even get up to help him. That was one of the laziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, the backside of the jeans is planted on that Buckley Street hill, not moving for anything. Moorfield's going to kick it towards us. Rana, good early body work. It skipped past him off the knees of Tommy St Clair, who's after it at ground level with Jack Cassidy. And Cassidy just wades his way loose of the contest. The kick forward wasn't much chop. Caven has been held onto there by Macking. It was either a mark or a hold. The umpire picks out the ladder at centre half back for St Bernard's. They'll go down the scoreboard wing. Next in the chain is Charlie Vega. Goal already in this one. Sits it towards centre half forward. It's a deep kick. McKenzie with the fist. Aleo at the back. He's got Tommy Sullivan for company. Holland was legged. The umpire said play on. Spreads it to Fergus McNichol.
Watson.
The big fella has a snap towards Watson in the square. Moorfield spoils it loose. It might be the Snow Dogs anyway. On the right boot and snapping it through is Lockie Papley from 15 metres out directly in front. And the Dogs have a couple. 2-2-14. The University Blacks one behind as away. Macking comes off the ground. Hugo Higginbotham. What's going on in the middle of the ground?
That patron has not got up to get the ball again. It really hit the patron, and he's just planted to the ground. The poor boundary umpire had to run halfway up the hill into the shrubbery there just to get the ball. I'm on patron watch here because I want to see if that person moves.
To the gentleman in the blue jeans and the checkered jacket behind the goals at the Buckley Street end of the ground, we salute you. That's strong work. So 13-point lead early for the Snow Dogs. Goals through Papley and Vague. 11.5 gone for the Moonee Ponds Club in the first term. Hugo, what's got the Snow Dogs off to this hot start? They've been impressive.
Oh, well, they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're moving the ball really well. Look, they should know how to play this ground well, but you can't do much more than they're doing at the moment, Paddy. Here we go again.
Clearance won by Delizio. Throws it on the boot inside 50. Bouncing ball to centre forward. They'll gather this firstly here. Snap towards goal there from Vague. It's going to trickle into the pocket looking for Watson and Moorfield. And we're going to see if our bloke in the cheer squad is going to get the footy, but I wouldn't hold your breath.
Can someone get a stick and go and poke him? I think he might be in trouble over there.
Let's just jump in, Matthew, and get down to Raj Johnston on the boundary for Author Sport Victoria.
Yeah, Paddy, Mitchell Hughes continuing to receive treatment from the St Bernard's trainers. Got a few tissues up against his nose, so it doesn't look pretty. We'll keep an eye on him.
So improvised plumbing work there for Mitchell Hughes. They'll be desperate to get him back out as the ball's tossed in. Watson clips it down to Papley, who was about to pull the trigger but was tackled at the last. They got out of it there, the Blacks.
Here we go.
That is not insufficient intent. That is blatant deliberate. And so the umpire pays it. That was about as obvious as it gets in the modern game. So St Bernard's will get an opportunity to reload inside attacking 50 eventually, if we can find the footy.
I think even our man Simon Petch would have agreed with that decision making.
No, he wouldn't have. He would not have. What was he supposed to do there?
He didn't have any other choice. As Delizio kicks it back inside 50, bouncing ball. It's come out now, looking looking for Karan Barati. Tries to take on the tackler. Got past him once, couldn't get past him a second time, and he's gone. Holding the ball, the Blacks will get out of trouble here. Free kick to be taken by Vesio. Inside defensive 50.
He's got no options here. The Dogs are doing a great job.
So Vesio, 13.5 gone for the Moonee Ponds Club, and it's a 13-point lead for the Snow Dogs. Kicks it towards the scoreboard wing. St Clair's in the chain here, waiting for the handball. It won't get to him. It's a kick towards Caven. He's got Drummond behind him of the Blacks. It skips them both. Here's big Tommy Sullivan. He tries to raid through a couple University Blacks, and he's tied up in the process. It'll be thrown up scoreboard side wing. Group change, still waiting to see whether Mitch Hughes can return to this contest. We'll alert you when he does. Here's Max Gray of the Blacks, feeds it backwards to Kane Loftus. Awkward looking snap towards St Clair at half forward. It's tapped to Barati, who's got runners breaking to the side of him. Eade, Caven at right half back. Down that scoreboard wing, it's a high arcing kick. Getting across to it is Max Gray of the Blacks and spoils it out of bounds in front of the scoreboard where it'll be thrown in, Hugo.
I'll tell you what, Caven's had a sensational start for the Snow Dogs. He is everywhere in their back line at the moment, but he uses the ball really well coming out. Not like usual fullback who just bangs it on the boot and gets it as far away as they possibly can.
So it'll be tossed in centre wing, scoreboard side. O'Keefe had front spot, tapped it down. Schumann had hands to it, lost it. It's gone in again there. Schumann done quite well, but it'll be another stoppage here. St Bernard's with the only 2 goals of the game. We're approaching 15 minutes gone in this opening term for the Moonee Ponds Club. Again, O'Keefe, who started really well, gets to Lizio, somehow got hands free. It's come out to Berardi on the left boot. He's going to run to 50, speared into the pocket. It's an excellent pass from Karen Berardi on the left boot. Sets up an opportunity for little Tommy Sullivan, who's well and truly within range here.
That was amazing vision by Berardi. He was in the middle of kicking the ball, but just saw that little Tommy Sullivan had a little bit of space and just kicked it to his advantage beautifully.
He was the one who got the ball rolling for the Snow Dogs last week. Goal was in the first term, but he kicked the first two in the second to get them going. Sullivan comes in on the right boot. That kick is good. It's a goal. And they're on a hot streak at the moment, the Snow Dogs. They've got the first three of the game, making the most of the breeze early here. 15 and a half gone here in the opening term on the scoreboard for the Moonee Ponds Club, and it's 3-2-20. The Snow Dogs, Uni Blacks one behind. We might head down to the boundary line for Raj Johnston, who's got an update there for us on the boundary line. Raj, what have you got?
Mitchell Hughes has got into the rooms, Matty.
So I've just seen him go past Raj with a fairly decent wad of tissue paper wedged up the schnoz. So hopefully, if it's just that for Mitch Hughes, we might be able to see him a little bit later on. For Hit IQ, Hugo, St Bernard's off to a 3-goal-to-zip start. Who are the key performers running hot at the moment?
Well, Berardi's been sensational through the middle of the ground, and also Caven too in defence. So good start.
Has been that. So we'll get a repeat stoppage in the centre of the ground. Kane Loftus has got Dylan Gwynn riding off his right hip at every stoppage. So the heavy tag applied to the Blacks number 22, whose kick out of that pack was smothered back into the contest where James Clark lays a tackle. And we're going nowhere in the centre of St Bernard's College Oval. Sun's still beating down today in Essendon West. It's a beautiful day for footy. And the Snow Dogs have started hot. This is a free kick going the way of the home squad by the looks. Umpire's a little bit confused as to who this is being paid to. It's going the way of St Bernard's.
Oh, just keeps getting better for the Snow Dogs, doesn't it?
Everyone was a little bit confused there. Eventually we will get it to Ethan Schumann, the number 3 in the centre of the snake pit. He drives it as high and as long as he can. It'll go 40 metres out from goal. Back with the fight. Valpede couldn't hold on. Lockie Papley's around the place. Charges after the footy. Makes the gather now in the pocket. Snaps on the right. That is a pearler of a goal! Lockie Papley's got a couple to start the game. St Bernard's are on fire here. 4-2-26. The Blacks just the one behind. 25 points the advantage. 17 and a half gone for the Moonee Ponds Club in the first term. That's an amazing goal by Tommy Papley. He couldn't even see the goal post in there. He's looking straight at the point post. But you know that it was a good goal because that patron on the hill, he turned his head. So he's made him move. Signs of life.
We're on here. Geez, that must have been a good goal.
You called him Tommy Papley there, Hugo.
I did notice that.
Yeah, it was a play like that.
I know.
Tommy Papley, though.
That's how excited I was. The trash panda.
We didn't quite get the Tom Papley style celebration, but the day is young, Matthew.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go before a 3 laps of honour for Papley from the goal. And there'll be another free kick. This time it's going the way of the Blacks. So rare bit of respite for them in this opening term. They've conceded the first 4 goals of the game. And they've got a bit of space here out wide. Can drive it inside attacking 50 here, the Blacks. Goes deep into the pocket. Hacking with a big fly over the top. Got hands to it. Now he's going to try and apply the pressure. Tongi is happy to just let that one go over the boundary line for a throw in. Inside attacking 50 here for the visitors.
Geez, I thought we were on then. Jeez, you just see him working. This is going to happen. I don't know where, don't know when, but it's definitely going to happen today.
It's on the way. Paddy Grindlay is requesting he calls every Uni Blacks game from now until the end of the season because he wants to be there when it happens. The ball's tossed back into play. Macking with a big fly forward in the right. The umpire wave play on. Now Schumann's caught. A tackle by Cassidy and we'll get a ball up again inside attacking 50 for the Blacks. Umpire wasting no time. We'll go at it once again. McNichol and Macking were both there. Neither got a tap to it in the ruck. And then another stoppage. It's worked slightly further away from goal here. It's just inside 50 now here for the Blacks. Still looking for their first goal of this match. Macking and McNichol were both there. I think McNichol got a tap to it initially. Cassidy was taken in a heavy hit. And the ball's moved away from him. Vesey applying a tackle and another stoppage.
For Tobin Brothers Funerals around the ground, D. Larcell 3-3-21, leading Old Scotch at Camberwell Sports Ground 2 straight 12. So that's a nice start for Nick Highland's men who've been improving in recent weeks. Macking with the hit out, Ethan Schumann with the clearance. It goes down the car park wing where Moorfield will clean up and go to Adderall of the Blacks. And he will trace the boundary line. Not a great kick. Just about picked out Karan Berardi. Went a bit further than him and out of bounds on the full. So the Snow Dog will take it from left half back. Berardi will think about the switch. Called to go rather quickly by the man in green. Kicks to a one-on-one. Big fist favour Jack Cassidy. That's an intelligent tap. Got Oliver loose. He goes back inside 50. St Clair from behind will fly. Won it down at the front from Tommy Hughes down again. Vesio applies pressure. The umpire will call for a throw in. And Geez, Tongi has been in the wars to start this game. Nick has picked himself up for a second time in this first term for the Moonee Ponds club. It's the Blacks just a one behind. St Bernard's 4-2-26.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day if it continues like this for Nick Tongi. Well, he's picked himself up a little bit quicker this time around, though, and has taken his position back at full forward. Ball tossed back into play. Drummond having a turn to the ruck, got front spot there. And now Caven's trying to crash away through. Gets a hand pass out to Berardi, and then one more for Ethan Schumann, who started well in this match. Spears a kick up towards the wing, was knocked away. And here's Oliver with a clip inside 50. Papley getting in behind. Nearly got hands to it, roved it well, then he shrugs the tackle. He was dispossessed, umpire wave play on. Wynn's kick was smothered. Oh, then a hack out of mid-air there by Smith. It's still in defensive 50. He comes out now with a kick out of there towards the wing. It's marked by Watson, who got some separation on Moorfield. There's got a bit of space, Watson. Kick up towards half forward to Vague. He's in space here. He's been held up, though, so he'll have to come back over the mark. Wants to go. Now called to by the umpire. Spears a kick in towards first forward. It's gone over the back. And they've got another chance inside 50 of the Snow Dogs. Might have taken it in the forward pocket. I think it might be McNichol. In fact, it's Delizio rather, my apologies. So Luke Delizio will line up. This will be a tough kick from the pocket with the swirly breeze. He looks like he's going to go with the banana on the right foot. And he got it just a bit shallow, kicked it too straight across the face, far side, minus score. 4-3-27 St Bernard's. Uni Blacks one behind. That's on the Moonee Ponds Club scoreboard on this opening term.
Geez, you painted a beautiful picture there, Matty, because I did not watch a bit of that. I was watching Big Cave, and in honour of Petchy, he has been rearranging the furniture downstairs for the past 7 minutes. He had to go to the bench, and he's only just about his mouth guard out. He was hit that hard down low.
He is struggling.
He's gone behind the box. He's gone for privacy.
I'd say we'd be keeping an eye on that one for Author Sport Victoria, but maybe just some privacy for Caven there. That was a decent hit to the unmentionable, so hopefully we'll be seeing him again. No sign yet of Mitch Hughes returning it for the Snow Dogs at this point. We'll be keeping across that one. It'll be thrown in 70 metres from St Bernard's goal. 27 plays won. All the Snow Dogs to start. Still looking for their first win at home for 2025. Liberatore to Ethan Schumann. Back to Liberatore, tackled off the footy inside 50 now. The snap from Delizio to the top of the square. It'll pitch in front of Moorfield of the Blacks. It took a wicked bounce and Darker's threw it at best to Chalkley. And now Ben Oliver. So the Blacks will get loose through left half back. Oliver's kick is not good. Out of bounds on the full. St Bernard's will get another look at the ice cream here. Through Harrison Schumann. 2 Schumans in this team. 2 Sullivans, 1 O'Sullivan. Inside 50. Ooh. Big leap came from behind from Delizio. It'll be tied up beneath the pack, 20 metres out from the St Bernard's goal.
He's doing a great job down there, Delizio. He's getting very busy because they're very Matthew Watson focused. So there is going to be a little bit of time and space for the other forwards down there.
Hand passes come out. Here's Papley again. Gets on the right boot, snaps towards goal. The line. Yes, it does. Oh, it's a goal. Papley's got his second. His third, in fact. I've lost count. What an electric opening term it's been for Lockie Papley. And they continue to have all the momentum here. The Snow Dogs 5-3-33, 23 minutes gone. And Uni Blacks one behind, and that is on the Moonee Ponds Club scoreboard. And now one-man cheer squad behind the goal.
He did not
bounce over him. Still refused to go get the footy.
And it bounced straight over the top of him. Yeah. And just watch the umpire walk past him and get the ball. That's amazing.
Tell you what, for it's a big week ahead for his washing machine getting the grass stains out of those jeans, because they're going to be well imprinted into his pants by full time at this rate.
Certainly will be. They certainly will be. But geez, what a start by the Snow Dogs. I said before the game that the Blacks have an amazing way of staying in the game. Well, they're not doing a good job of that at the moment.
It's a decent start from the Snowies. 32 points up here. Decent wind we anticipate is affecting the scoring a touch, but you've still got to kick in. Successive stoppages in the middle of the snake pit.
It's what they couldn't do last week when they kicked with the wind in the final term.
Yeah, but also the Blacks have had a lot of the ball in their forward half, but they just haven't been able to get a shot on goal. So the Snow Dogs are defending really, really well.
Valpede was taken high by the looks of things, so he'll get a free kick. Man on the mark, Charlie Vague stands right in the centre of the St Bernard's College Oval. That's a beautiful kick. Henry Robertson now.
So the Blacks are very happy to slow things up. They're not going forward with much urgency.
Right half forward, the next kick is Cassidy. He might just jog inside 50. No one comes at him, so Jack Cassidy advances, kicks for Sinclair. Caven's back on the ground and jumped across the front to take the mark, showing no signs of the earlier injury inflicted upon him.
He has tucked his jumper in there.
In the last line, he'll drive it into the middle of the ground.
He goes with a one-on-one kick down the line. It's come over the back, and it was a bit of an enthusiastic lead there from Ackland Evans. He didn't get anything on it, so unrealistic attempt. no advantage to be played. It'll be coming back to Delizio in the centre of the ground, and this will give an opportunity for Blacks to get numbers into defence.
But once again, that was a Blacks entry, no result, no score on the board, and now the Snow Dogs have control of the ball again.
Kick looking for big Tommy Sullivan. It's been turned over. Here's Tom Sinclair. He's got runners alongside. Nothing forward. He's got to get the hand pass back here, Sinclair. It's still all or nothing here. Goes with a scrubby old kick inside footy. Just 50, just ran out of patience there. And Caven goes and wins it back. Goes with a long kick down the line, bouncing ball. It'll come back. Here's Ackland Evans again. Comes out wide. Valpede, and now another short kick. Good courage required there. Was well done by Allow, and then he's going to set it inside 50, looking for Sinclair. Gets over the head of him and Papley. Now it's a bouncing ball towards the goal square. Caven back once again. This will be a good test. He's got to go and get it. They're charging to it, the last soccering at home. It's Vecchio on the spot. A priceless goal into the breeze. The opportunistic finish by Louis Vecchio. Toe poked at home, and they've got a goal, the Blacks. 1-1, 7-5, 3:33. Approaching 26 minutes gone here in the opening term for the Moonee Pottins Club.
Well, it was much better build up there by the Blacks, but also that's still an opportunistic goal. But you've got to kick him as well, like you said, Matty. Beautiful call there. Caven had a lot of hard work there, and was playing with a little bit of a limp at the moment, so that's not helping him. But at least they're on the scoreboard moving forward. But it's still a big margin. I know there is a breeze out there. There's still a bit of time in this quarter. What I'd like to see is the Blacks win this clearance and get forward again. Just get a little bit of front half footy, just to get a bit of control back on the board here.
Special comments thanks to Hit IQ. Hugo Higginbotham on the call today. Back to the centre we go. 26-point C advantage for the home side. St Bernard's. Darkus into the middle of the ground. Won't win the footy. Gwynn did. Kicked it inside 50 for St Bernard's. Iamano comes up, gave it off to Charlie Vague, who's already got one. Steps to the inside on Aleo. Keeps on running. He's tackled as he kicked it, affected the disposal. Three attempts, couldn't bring it down. Moorfield with him the whole way. Clark and Moorfield clean up for the Blacks. It'll come the way of Max Gray, right half back.
So Gray's just happy to hold things up here now. They got away with one once again, the Blacks. Short little kick up the line to Robertson. Despite the attention of Vague, gets a little ear massage for his troubles.
The Simon Petch reserves handshake.
And Charlie Vague says not guilty, Your Honour. Back to Moorfield. Another kick across the field of goal to Ackland Evans.
And numbers out. They've got numbers out here, the Blacks.
And they do have one further afield, you're right. Chalkley.
Oh, they're very slow moving the ball.
Paddy Grindlay is insisting on quicker ball movement here from the Blacks. He's not getting it. Chalkley's just going to go long up the line. So we'll go very close to the boundary line.
That's still in.
Might have been a Falcon in there as well. And it has stayed in play. Caven once more kicks back inside 50, asking a lot of Iamano. Had to compete against three. And the Blacks win it back out. But that's going to go out on the full again. So they'll get another opportunity. There's a magnet towards the boundary line there. Very defensive 50 exit, just coming straight back into the field of play here. It'll be O'Keefe who's got it.
A little bit of panic stations down there by the Blacks when they get rid of the ball.
So it's inside 50. It's an ill-directed kick, and it's going to be won back here by the Blacks, and it will be Gray to relieve the pressure here for the Blacks.
It wasn't a great kick to Chalkley. That's a handball underground to Robertson under the pressure of Holland, but the Blacks will get to right half back. Aleo is next in the chain, and Marks on the paint of 50. Defensive side of the ground for him. Great to see him playing Leon Aleo. A shocking history of hamstring injuries. That kick's not carried to Robertson. The umpire will bail him out with a high contact free kick. So Robertson, one of the inclusions today, thought about the handball offside. He's down by Vague. That will be downfield. So Charlie Vague just letting a few of his Blacks opponents know that he's there today. Taken by Macking, who's kicked it straight to his direct opponent in Caven. It's the springboard part of the ground. Dangerous place to turn it over, though. Mick Caven not in any hurry to move the ball on. From left half back for the Snow Dogs. He'll kick back in the Macking direction in the end. He spoiled it away. And that one will
free kick to Macking.
Towards Macking, yep. Delizio late to him, and Henry Robertson not happy with the treatment of his teammate there. These two just exchanging phone numbers on the far side wing.
I think he might have Caven's injury there. I think there's a bit going on there for Macking. I think he's a bit sore in the lower stomach region.
Oh, it's got a 50 as well. And that might be another one. Delizio and Vague have certainly taken their angry pills this morning.
Berardi and Robertson there. I think Robertson went looking for another 50, and Berardi let him know exactly what he thought about the attempt.
Now, he's got to be smart with this kick, Macking, because we've seen how long kicks have been affected by the breeze in this term. He's going to try and set one up to the teeth of goal. It's in a decent position. Vecchio got hands to it. It was knocked away from him at the last. Gwynn tried to spin out a 2-3. three players. Umpire Wade play on. Snap towards goal was smothered. Here's big Tommy Sullivan. Not much subtlety in that kick. Just throws it on the boot as far as he can. It's exited the defensive 50, and they'll be able to get it out here. Eade got it looking for Watson, who's a long way from home. And there will be one back here. Snap towards goal from Clark. Won't have the distance. Coming over the top with Sinclair. Brought it to ground. It's just outside the goal.
Oh, there it is.
Poking towards goal. It's gone across the face. Caven's there. Oh, what a pick-up that was from Caven. In one fell swoop, gathered and belted it out of the defensive 50. It's up towards the middle of the ground. A little Tommy Sullivan is legged. Umpire Wade play on. Appeals for a free kick. Nothing doing the umpire.
Out of zone.
Well, the out of zone umpire has picked it up. It was definitely there.
He heard your call, Matty. You convinced him.
Well, somebody told him it was a free kick, and it's Tommy Sullivan, little Tommy Sullivan, who's got the free kick, kicks in towards the centre of the ground. The mark had to be taken, it wasn't, and it means that they've got the numbers now, the Blacks. Valpede, what can he do? On the left boot, goes inside 50. It's
the back.
Sinclair,
In the back.
and the umpire has played the mark. There were definite hands in the back there, and probably a little shove. And it's getting a little testy here in the snake pit, and it's going to be 50 as well. So what was going to be a tough kick with this breeze is made a certainty of. Sinclair puts it through. The Blacks have a couple in a row. Right in the corner. The crowd is still not happy about that. They disagree with the umpire. But he's not changing his mind. He's convinced it was a mark, and an important goal into the breeze again for the Blacks as we approach the final stages here of this opening term. 2-1-13, 5-3-33. That's on the Moonee Ponds Club scoreboard, and the crowd still giving the umpire some advice.
I would suggest, Hugo, that a few of the patrons are aware of where the effects mic is.
Yeah, well, you can hear it from Melbourne, that one. But Michael came in there. That's some of the greatest advice I've ever seen given to an umpire about reassessing the game. That was, he really wanted that 50, I think he said. That's it.
Yes. Rana dispossesses his direct opponent there, and O'Keefe in the middle of the snake pit and wins himself a free kick. So the Blacks will go forward again.
Even though that effort from Sinclair, even though it was close to goal, it's not a gimme with this breeze. I mean, it would have been a challenging shot, and he turned it into a certain goal.
Darkest of the Blacks kicks it straight to Charlie Bake of the Snow Dogs, who is deep inside enemy territory, as it were. 32 minutes gone for the Moonee Ponds Club in this first term. Vade goes down the scoreboard wing. Big fly came from Eade, or Delizio rather. Couldn't get near the footy. And Conlon collars Adderwill and ushers him out of bounds beneath the scoreboard, which reads St Bernard's 33, the University Blacks 13. So first 5 goals of the game going the way of the Snow Dogs. Papley 3 of those. And then the last 2 to the Blacks through the agency of Vesio and Sinclair, each from the goal line. For very different methods, it must be said. O'Keefe with the tap straight to Clark. He's brought down and dispossessed. The umpire calls for it.
This breeze, that's the equivalent of a 50-metre bomb.
Yes.
From the goal square. Tossed up here on the wing. Schumann again. Read the tap well there and kicks up towards the line. Was just getting a fist across there. Was Adderwill rather. Taking no chances. Just thumps it over the boundary line for a throw in. Can't be long left in this quarter. We're nearly 33 minutes into it.
Still plenty of time. Remember, we had a few stoppages in this quarter, so, it's going to go. There's a chance for another goal here, and the Snow Dogs will want that. It's in their forward half.
Been a lively opening term. O'Keefe used the body well. Oh, fresh airy there from Clark. It's a full-on volley and missed it. There's going to be a free kick, and it will go the way of the Blacks. No advantage to be paid, even though the ball was slowly trickling towards their goal. And now, no one from Snow Dogs is going to pick it up, that's for sure. Will Clark will do so instead, and he goes back. And they've got it here at half-back. The Blacks, short little kick is effective enough to Darkus. Oh, and that kick was smothered, so it was good anticipation there from Liberatore, who goes in and applies the tackle as only a Liberatore would.
Oh, yes.
And it'll be a stoppage on the wing, so it's good defensive pressure from the Snow Dogs.
So I'll be just curious to see what the Snow Dogs do here. They've got to go all out, but they want that ball down in their forward line. They'd love another goal before quarter time.
Tommy Sullivan roved it along the boundary line.
Here we go. Need a mark.
Liberatore with a kick inside 50. It's gone over the back of everyone. Now McNichol's got to do the roving. Wouldn't be the one I'd want doing that. And then a kick comes out towards Alawi, who's going to run onto it here. Got a bit of time and space. Kicks up towards Valpede. Doesn't find him. He's got to gather it on the back. Gets away from Sullivan really well. And then again, and then has a bounce. Gets past him. Now he looks to get past Tongi as well. Kicks inside attacking 50. Macking from the side. Got hands to it. And then Smith off the Schumann. Shortly past the Barati. They got space. Oh, went clean through Tom Sullivan's hands. Kick inside 50 to Macking. Wow, that's not a mark that'll take the highlights reel. He wanted to go there, Macking. And now the siren's gone, so just as well. Now this is going to be a goal of the year contender if he kicks it from here, because it's only a regulation set shot from 50, but in this breeze, it is going to take all of his skill
What do you reckon, barrel, Matty?
He might have to bring it out away, Mackie.
Go the barrel. Oh, he's holding in that manner.
He's going to launch from just inside 50. He goes with a choice.
He's
going to go close.
He played on.
The umpire has said played on, so he's run off his line. Wasn't too far away from the goal line, but no score anyway. And we are as we were then at quarter time. The scores 5-3-33, the Snow Dogs, 2-1-13 Uni Blacks. That quarter going for almost 35 minutes. The goal scorers to this point, 3 for Lockie Papley, 2 to Charlie Vague, and 1 to Tom Sullivan. And then for Uni Blacks, 1 to Louis Vesio, Thompson Clare, and that's it.
Just a quick one, Hugo. What do you got?
Caden was walking off with the umpire there. He's still going on about that push in the back. And the umpire was really good there. He sort of was just gesticulating exactly what happened. But I've got a feeling that Caden's not happy with that call, Paddy.
We've got a live one for the Moonee Ponds Club here at the Snake Pit. It's the Snow Dogs by 20 points at quarter time. On the other side of this, we'll have all the insights from the University Blacks huddle, Dale Bauer, to join us.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Tickets are now on sale for the VAFA's 2025 Big V Gala Dinner presented by City Power. It's a landmark event, the largest function the VAFA has ever staged, and it's celebrating 100 years of Big V representative football. This historic evening will serve as the official opening to the Rep Football Weekend, offering a unique opportunity to honour the legacy of the Big V and its enduring significance within the VAFA community. The Big V Gala Dinner will bring together past players, coaches, club representatives and supporters to reflect on a century of tradition, achievement and pride. The evening promises to be one of the most significant in the VAFA's history. You don't want to miss it. It's at Centrepiece at Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July 2025. Tickets now on sale at vafa.com.au.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
5-3-33 St Bernard's, 2-1-13 the University Blacks at quarter time at the Snake Pit. 3 goals to Lockie Papley, the highlight of the first term, singles to Tommy Sullivan and Charlie Vague for the Snow Dogs. 5 goals in a row to start this contest before the Blacks hit back with goals through Vesio and Tom Sinclair before we broke for quarter time. A bit of a, I'd say, a 3-goal lead here at the Snake Pit, Hugo Higginbotham. So as far as this game goes, it's gone to script so far. Yeah, you would think so. Well, it's been a really exciting game. We've had a bit of everything, haven't we, Ben? That breeze probably is 3 goals, so we'll call that quarter square. I mean, there was probably a lucky one to kick from the square down here when Caven just disagreed with the call, but I've been very impressed with the Snow Dogs, the way they've moved the ball forward. And, you know, they barely kicked it to Matthew Watson. It seems that the Blacks are very focused on Matthew Watson because they come off and then there's just opportunities there for the other players. For the Moonee Ponds Club, St Bernard's long-time platinum sponsor and your local friendly club on Mount Alexander Road for great food and drinks. Let's go now to inside the huddle for the University Blacks. The voice of Dale Bauer is the one you'll hear next.
Make sure we support the contested numbers, because when they were able to come out the front and able to penetrate with the ball, that made us really hard for us to defend. So make sure we get balance around the contest, right? Good numbers around the contest. But frontal pressure is one of the most important things for us. We must have that frontal pressure on, all right? We know this team is a good contested team, all right? They're hard at the pill. Make sure we're just as hard, if not harder, all right? And then when they get the ball forward, they spit hard forward, don't they? They're mids, all right? So I know we've got a breeze now, and that will help us, but it's not going to do everything for us. So make sure that when you're mid, you work hard back to help those defenders. All right, let's make sure when we do get control of the ball that we don't go for a bomb theft. All right, so when we get a chance,
go now.
Lower our vision, find the frees, take what they give us, get some speed on the ball, and use width if we need to. Find those free players. And I only want us, the forwards, we want to get kicks into advantage. If we're going to bomb it, it's going to Pomo. It's not going shallow. All right? But the biggest thing, boys, is we've got to raise the fight around the ball.
Come on, let's go.
Get back to our Blacks DNA. I haven't seen any real ripping tackles yet. Haven't seen stuff that we're going to look at during the week and be really happy with. Let's get our contest up, get our pressure up, get our work rate up. Let's play Blacks.
Thank you there to Dale Bauer and to Raj Johnston for the access into the University Blacks huddle. For Hit IQ, Hugo Higginbotham, plenty to look out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he said all the right things. He didn't panic about the scoreboard at the time. Look, the breeze is definitely playing a part, don't get me wrong, but kicking to advantage in the forward line or otherwise put it deep, yep, that's a great call as well. It just set a little bit of pressure around the ball, so definitely not panicking or anything like that. It's a long game, and maybe this is their ability to stay in the game. He reads it really well. I'll be looking this quarter to see just what they do, whether they go all out and try and gun as fast as they can, or they, just keep that real smart play.
Let's head back now to the boundary. Raj Johnston has the coach of the University Blacks, Dale Bauer.
Thanks, Paddy. Dale's with me. Dale, probably a bit premature to make any calls on the game with the breeze that favoured St Bernard's in that first quarter. You would have been pleased with Vesio and Sinclair's goals and how you fought back in the latter stages there. What were your takeaways from the first quarter?
Yeah, look, I thought our first 5 minutes was good. We competed well, but then at times they were able to get out the front and really penetrate with the ball with the wind and do well and get it in score. So it's a bit of a worry when they got 5 goals on the board at the 20-minute mark, so that can easily become 6, 7, 8 goals. So for us to fight back in the last sort of 5 or 10 and get a couple on the board was pleasing. But we need to, St Bernard's are really hard at the ball and a really hard-working team with getting numbers around the contest, so we need to match them in that area.
Looking forward to the next quarter. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks to Raj and Dale. For Tobin Brothers Funerals around the grounds, St Bernard's by 20 points here. Over at Camberwell Sports Ground, D-Lar by 5 over Old Scotch. At Melbourne University Oval, the Uni Blues by 17 over Collegians. At Princess Park in South Caulfield, Old Brighton by 23 points over Old Haileybury. And at Toorak Park at St Kevin's by 4 points over the Old Zaverian. Just a one game gents kicked in that contest because of the 2:30 start. Matthew Donald with the bounce for the second term. That's all thanks to Nelson Alexander.
So what can the Uni Blacks do kicking with the breeze in this term? Vague's going to rove it. He got past Cassidy initially and was caught in a strong tackle that time by Clarkson. Will get another stoppage here.
You can see the pressure lifted by the Blacks already. They're going to go hard in the middle.
We'll be looking for that pressure that Bauer said that they had really well in the opening 5 minutes of the game. There's Vague again. Gets the hand pass out and then a hurried kick up towards half forward. McNichol was there. Couldn't gather it cleanly. The hand pass comes back here for Khan Barati, who's got some separation now. Weir's on the Watson. Looking for Watson, who got hands to it. Was knocked away from him at the last. Oh! Then he was tackled by little Tommy Sullivan. The umpire waved play on. He's got his glasses back on now, the umpire. And another stoppage here at half forward. Well, at least he found them. There'll be a ball up just outside attacking 50 here for St Bernard's.
Don't know what you're talking about. They're doing a great job.
Well, there's a bit of a fight going on.
Yeah, there is. What's going on there?
They're having a bit of a dance. Vague and, Charlie Vague, that's not a surprise. And Cassidy, there's going to be a free kick going the way of the number 9. So he'll be able to send them back inside 50. He's picking up a lot of phone numbers today, Charlie Vague. Well, that's at least 3 I think he's got now.
There's a bit going on between the umpires here.
Now there's another push downfield. The umpire's not seeing that one.
Yeah, because they're all focused on what's going up there.
So Vague is trying to try and hit it up for Watson, who's got to the separation. He was just a bit too strong for runner there, was Matty Watson. And he'll line up. He'll be about 30 minutes out on a slight angle, but in this breeze it still won't be an easy kick.
Now, it's just interesting what's going on here. The Blacks seem very focused on being aggressive at the man, and there was a bit of that going on there. They weren't focused on looking and guarding the space, and there was a massive big hole in front of Watson, a beautiful kick in, but you can't give that guy that much space, and you've got to be on the attacking side of him because he's so strong. He'll just hold you off, Matty. Even a big, strong, hulking bloke like you wouldn't be able to get near him, Matthew Donald.
20 goals for the season, Matthew Watson. You too, guy, Hugo. Didn't kick one last week, though. Big opportunity into the breeze here for Watson. He kicks it high.
He's got it. Oh, no.
And he's just pushed it left. So it's an opportunity missed there for the Snow Dogs. And for Matty Watson, 5-4-34. They still lead 2-1-13. The Uni Blacks. Couple of minutes gone here in this second term for the Moonee Ponds or for Nelson Alexander.
So the Blacks get away with one to start. Moorfield's going to kick it straight up the guts. Wants Oliver. It's a great kick, Hugo, for Hit IQ. Oliver marks and wants to take off. Gets away from Conlon with 2 kicks. They're inside 50 already. It's a high ball to Grocott. Caven will track it back after it was spoiled. Macking is there, as is Valpede. Macking will be happy to see that one out of play. So all the way to the forward pocket in 2 kicks for the University Blacks. That's the name of the game, I think, today, Hugo.
Oh, that was a beautiful kick by Moorfield, though. Just to advantage, probably kicked it 55, 60 metres. They found that little bit of space, and look where they are now.
That's why Campbell Moorfield is a nominee for this year's Big V team after his representation last year. Beautiful kick of the footy and a pretty strong defender as well. He's got the job at the moment as a spare. And it's Mackenzie on Matthew Watson. Inside 50 with the Blacks. One down to the front. A whistle from the outer zone umpire for a hold. It's going the way of the Snow Dogs. So it will be Simon O'Keefe from the last line. Late in, of course, today after Matthew Soro was left out of the squad. Reasons unknown as yet. We'll find out from Steve Alessio perhaps at three-quarter time why that was, as he'll go sideways, not without some risk. Matthew Donald to Caven.
Yeah, Ruckman kicking short. I don't know. Caven's got it though at full back. All's well that ends well. It looks to come out the far side. Asking a lot of Holland. Is one of the shortest men on the ground. Had to contend with 2 and there's not much chance there. So they've won it back here, the Blacks.
He's going to have a go here.
I'm just trying to pick up who this is. You're right, Hugo. He's very confident.
He's very confident, whoever he is.
It's like a very good kick though.
Well, he just threw a little bit of grass there, so that exudes confidence, doesn't it? If you're bending over and picking up a bit of grass and throwing it.
Been watching tapes of Matty Lloyd growing up, no doubt. This will take a very good kick even with this breeze from 50 on the left boot.
It is a very good show,
actually. Going to go close. He's got the distance all right, but it was always to the left at a minor score. Still trying to pick up who that was. It might have been Driscoll, in fact.
Well, just go with that, mate.
Right, Driscoll. 2-2-14 to 5-4-34. 20-point lead for the Snow Dogs.
Oh, jeez.
It's been risky here. Sinclair's going to apply pressure. He might have gone high. The umpire says no. I'll ball it up. Pulls it even.
That was poor old Tongi again. He's in the walls. They can't even kick it to him, the poor bloke.
Tongi had 2 early hits in the first term, and now he's having to have scrubbing kicks kicked to him in the back pocket. Doesn't want that. From the throw-up, it'll go towards the boundary line. Barati's the only one there. There's no teammate around for him. He's happy to take it out of play. So 5-4-34 St Bernard's, 2-2-14 the University Blacks. We've played nearly 5 minutes in the second term for Nelson Alexander. If you're thinking of buying or selling, you can contact John McKenna at Nelson Alexander. He'll sort that out for you. And after a slow start to this term at least, the Blacks have now got the advantage of territory. It's inside 50, 40 metres out, thrown in. Macking and O'Keefe. It's O'Keefe who pats it down to the front where it will be tied up instantly and it will be thrown in the air.
So it's interesting what the Dogs are doing here. They just want to repeat stoppage, and they're taking their time, but Blacks need to win the clearance here.
Barati going to try and tap it back. Wasn't a very good one. It's come out only as far as O'Neill, who snaps towards goal. It's gone across the face. Smith was there on the last line of defence and takes the mark. So no score for the Blacks. Those playing along at home, looks like our chances of someone in the cheer squad picking up the footy has tripled. We've got 3 down there now.
They're not moving much, though.
Kick to out. Moorfield coming over the top with a big fly. No mark taken. Valpede was in there. And the umpire will call for it once more. So it's been a bit slower this second term compared to the first. A lot of stoppages. This one will be tossed up right on the paint of the half-forward flank here for the Blacks. Rana got hands to it. Wasn't an effective hit out. Vague on hands and knees. Now Delizio was looking for Gwynn with the hand pass. The kick eventually comes out. Tommy Sullivan's in there. Used the body well. He's going to get it now. Sullivan out to Gwynn, who gets past him. Looking for Barati. He's got to be good here. He rode the tackle well. Got a hand pass away to Eade. Back to Tommy Sullivan. He gives the fend off. Get out of my way, he says. And he gives a hand pass over to Holland. They can go inside 50 here now. It's a one-on-one. Got to be good here. Oh, that was really well done there from Mackenzie. Judged it beautifully. And then a perfect kick out towards the back flank. Mark taken by Alawi. And then up towards the wing. And now they're in a bit of pressure. Good tackle there by O'Keefe. The late inclusion. Umpire Wade play on. It's come out now. They'll get it. We're here with Eade, who's on the right boot. Sets up towards half forward. Good use the body by McNichol. Did everything but take the mark. Then he was tackled by Moorfield, who gets the hand pass out. There's Mackenzie again, who throws it on the boot. It bounces over the head of Eade towards the boundary line. Now what does Simon Petch say? What does the boundary umpire say? Well, the umpire says throw it in. Hugo, what would Petchy say?
No, he'd be happy with that call, actually. That was a bit of a 50-50 one. But what else would he have to do? Jeez, these umpires, I don't know. What are they appealing for, these blokes? Just get on with it out there.
Strong feedback from our man Simon Petch.
I think that's something like he'd say.
So it's a shallow throw in. It actually looked to have bounced off Cassidy. The umpire called play on Loftus with class emerged, kicked it to Sinclair, who dropped the mark, picked it up and got around Smith okay, kicked it inside 50, shallow entry, picked off by Dom Sullivan of St Bernard's. And a great kick to Tommy Sullivan. So car park wing right on the boundary. Aleo on the mark was begging for the umpire to wave the hands. Instead, Tommy Sullivan's allowed to take his kick, sits it up high in the O'Keefe direction, playing from behind Delizio. Holland at the front takes the footy, kicks it towards centre half forward. It'll skip into the corridor where Gray resides. He runs away from Conlon, handball to Oliver in the centre circles. Here go the Uni Blacks. Cassidy to centre half forward, beautiful kick. Vesio on the chest. And he's 55 metres out, doesn't want to take the shot, sits it up for Grocott, right option. And Matt Grocott had an opportunity to spill it down his front and mark it on the second time of asking. He will line up from 25 metres out, just a slight angle to the left, Hugo.
You just see the value of moving the ball quickly through the middle of the ground, and then there's space, and then you can kick to advantage to your forwards. You're not kicking to congestion and hoping for a sneaky snap goal or something like that. So that was very good. And I just like the composure of lowering the eyes, seeing the play there. There's a little bit of advantage. And now look at this. It's a relatively easy shot. And this is going to give us a really good look at whether those patrons on the hill will get up and have a look at what is happening with the ball.
Going every game this year so far. Matty Grocott on the runway on the left. He'll be waiting still for his opportunity. He misses to the left-hand side. And Hugo for hit IQ. Those three patrons sitting directly behind the goals haven't moved, but we've got some movement at the station a bit further back up the hill.
But there was one bloke who could have marked that ball, and now he's walked away, and he's walking completely away from don't stand there if you don't want to get hit by the ball.
Or at least wave a flag or a pomp.
Oh, something. Just get your hands out of your pockets, mate.
34 plays 15.
Sullivan with a kick out towards the back flank. That was Dom Sullivan. It's coming back here, though. It was a good flick away there by Papley. 3 goals in the opening term for him. Now doing a bit of work in defence. And then Gwynn got hands to the footy, but it's gone over the boundary line for a throw-in on the scoreboard wing.
You just sort of feel that the Blacks was probably wasting a few opportunities moving forward, aren't they? I don't know.
They have been. Well, we saw that was the case early with St Bernard's, but then they managed to get on a bit of a roll. So there's still plenty of time in this second term.
Yep.
Toss back into the field of play. Trickles inside 50. O'Neill got it down. Kick towards goal from Darkus. Goes in towards the pocket. No mark taken. Darkus follows up again. His hand pass was stolen away from him. But we've run out of real estate. We'll get a boundary throw in. That was Dom Sullivan again who cut it out. So they've worked it inside, attacking 50, the Blacks. Still looking for our first goal of the second term here. Just 2 behinds to 1 in favour of the visitors. St Bernard's the host, looking for their first win here at the Snake Pit this season. Toss back into play. Drummond taking a turn to the ruck now. Clark. Drummond get it back to O'Neill. And now it's come out here. Flying snap towards goal from Oliver. And that's not going to be a goal. It's not even going to be a score. It's going to be out on the full. And St Bernard's will get a chance to clear their lines.
Peppering Hugo.
Yes, it's got that feel about it at the moment. But they've in their front half, but they need to make the most of it. There's small opportunistic goals out there. Oh.
For Autosport Victoria, as this ball makes its way out of bounds 60 metres from the University Blacks goal. Let's get down to Raj Johnston. You've got an injury update for us.
Yeah, Paddy, just keeping an eye on Charlie Vague from St Bernard's. He came limpy off in a lot of discomfort later on. Just pointing towards his bottom of his right leg, so it could be an ankle. We'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted.
Thank you, Raj. I'll be keeping an eye on the beautiful black dog just behind you, Raj, that's running onto the field occasionally.
So a head count. That's an extra dog on the field.
It might be. Aleo is tackled by Tony Sullivan, 50 metres out. The umpire will stop playing. There's another snow dog down, and this looks a little bit nasty. Might be Papley, actually. Yeah. The umpire's going to stop play. He's just on the edge of the centre square, stretching out what looks to be a calf and not putting much weight at all on that right foot. That is blocking Papley, and he is, well, lame is an understatement. A trainer now out to him to help him get off the ground. It's a concerning one, Hugo, because at the point where he fell down, I didn't see the footy near him. So a non-contact one there for Lockie Papley, which is never good.
There's been a few non-contact injuries in this game so far, but no, that's no good for them. Raj will be all over that.
Yeah, more work for Raj Johnston on the boundary for Autosport Victoria as Papley is helped off the ground and play restarts half forward for the University Blacks. O'Neill and Rana around the place, Darkus as well. Holland, a clean pair of heels, dispossessed and tackled by Cassidy, gone. Closing tackle there from Jack Cassidy. 5.2 tackles a game for him, 6.1 pressure acts. Good enough for the second highest average in the VAFA. It's no surprise to see him closing quickly. He'll have a shot from 55 metres out, directly in front. will be helped out by the wind as Matthew Donald, we can see there, Papley making his way off to the bench very slowly indeed.
Yeah, it's not getting any better for him. It's looking more like a hospital ward as opposed to an interchange bench down there. We still haven't got an update on Mitch Hughes either. And Caven and Tongi running around sore too.
So Cassidy from the paint of 50 sits it up with the breeze. That's a gorgeous kick.
Needed that one, didn't they?
He's fourth on the year for Jack Cassidy, who's been in really good form these last few weeks. At least 21 disposals and 6 clearances across his last 3 games. He's got his first. The Uni Blacks have 3. They're 3-3-21, trailing St Bernard's 5-4-34. And Matthew and Hugo, St Bernard's kicked the first 5 goals of the game, and since then the Uni Blacks have kicked 3 in a row.
Which is really good, but nothing that a coach loves to see more than reward for effort, and that's what reward for effort is there. Beautiful tackle, closed really well, and then to finish from a troubling distance as well. I mean, only just got through. It doesn't matter how much they get through by, as long as they get through, Matty.
You're right, Hugo. It's a tossed up once again. Rana got hands to it in the ruck contest. We're going to have a stoppage, and there's no way anyone's getting out of that. Hugo Higginbotham has special comments thanks to Hit IQ. There's been more than a couple of hits today.
It certainly has been. Lots of stoppages too. Bit going on.
So it was tapped down there by O'Keefe. Robertson's in there. Rana going back in, having another go. O'Keefe just happy to stay off the back of all of that.
And another stoppage.
And do it again. We had a world record for stoppages last week here at the Snake Pit in the reserves match. I don't think we're quite on pace here today, but there's been a couple in this second term.
What was the record? You got the figure there for us?
I'll get back to you on that one, Hugo. Give me
back to the lab.
Give me about 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, no worries. Well, put that one in the diary.
Iamano with the tackle.
Actually, that'll be the bye week. You're selling me a filthy.
You've got a bit of work, I think, with the big V teams, Hugo.
Oh, I know. It's getting tight for selection too. Anyway.
And there might be a free kick to try and clear this congestion. Umpire's decided he's had enough. And it's going to be little Tommy Sullivan who's got it now. Call to go by the umpire. So Sullivan does run off his line. He goes to half forward. McNichol was there. Watson was there. Went over the head of both of them. Funny looking hand pass. It's come out to Harrison Schumann, who's done really well. Oh, he's clean ball, McNichol. And it's come out now to Holland, who flies towards goal. Hit the post. Another one work. There's been a couple of close calls in this quarter for St Bernard's, but it's yielded just the 2 behinds. 5-5-35 to 3-5-23. It's an even 2-goal game as the ball comes back into play.
That's interesting. What's he going to play here?
It's going to be a boundary throw in. Oh boy. Harvey Driscoll's not happy about that one, but we're going to boundary throw in at half forward for the Snow Dogs.
So it was Aleo to Driscoll, who had it for 9/10 of a mark before he was closed down on.
And then he had his arms chopped. There you go.
So it'll be thrown in 60 metres away from the St Bernard's goal, and as it arcs towards the rucks, it'll be over the top of the numbers of 50. James Clark will tie this up. Yamano's on the bottom of the pack. It'll be thrown up again. So pretty stoppage-heavy last 10 to 15 minutes, which is, 15 minutes has been the duration of the quarter so far, which is how St Bernard's would like to play when they've got the wind against them. Free kick going the way of Clark. Cassidy thought about taking the advantage, then gave it back to the 21-year-old rather, out of East Point. And Valpede of the Blacks, both from that part of the world. They'll be used to the cold of winter time. It's a kick to Oliver, has to play from behind, won the ball at ground level, kept it in, handballed it to his own advantage. He's fighting against 2 or 3 St Bernard's opponents. Oliver did well to advance the ball 15 metres up the boundary line, where it will go out of bounds between the benches, scoreboard wing.
And didn't lose possession, so he's done well there. We've got another stoppage, but it was interesting. I don't know if he handballed that one down on the ground there, Paddy. I think he more placed it and moved it forward,
advanced it forward
in a throwing motion.
And away Macking's gone back just quickly, gentlemen, as well.
Yeah.
And the umpire has just gently placed it back into the field of play, gathered by Sullivan, who wants to go on a bit of a run, has a bounce, and then another one. He's running laterally, has to try and find Liberatore at half forward, was knocked away from him. It's close towards the boundary line now. Liberatore flicks it away. He appeals for the free kick, and he's going to get it. He's a little lucky because he did stop. He played for the free kick, but he got away with it, Liberatore. Then on the right boot into the pocket, Mac Yang over the top. Got fist to it, and now it's clean bowled McKenzie there, who's kept it in play, gets a hand pass to Cassidy, goes with the outside of the right boot out towards half forward. Almost a very strong mark taken there, wasn't quite held at the last. That was Tongi. It's just not falling for him today, Nick Tongi.
No.
It's going to be another stoppage here at half forward.
He'd want to be careful driving home. He's going to run at the back of the beamer or something like that.
I think I might just walk if I
get run over.
If I can. Drummond with the flick back. Gray flicked it straight to Barati. Now Sullivan again tries to weave it in and out of trouble. Does so nicely. Hand pass back to Eade. Lopes the kick. It's 50. Great mark, Delizio. There was a pack of about 4 or 5 strong, and he had good hands and one clean clunk. He's taken the mark just inside 50 at half forward. It'll be a tough shot, but his reward for the mark will be an effort at goal.
Mark of the day contender for Care Plus Auto Services there from Delizio, who came from 3 deep, as you mentioned, Matthew, but this will be a tough kick.
And you do want a clean clunk rather than a dirty clunk, Matthew, I would imagine.
True. So it'll be a tough kick here. We may have a goal of the day contender as well.
He's got very close to now on the mark.
Can get it through from here. It'll go close. Not there! How has Delizio pulled that one off? Into the breeze from 50. It's one of the best goals we've seen today. It's a goal a day contender without any doubt for Gallant Auctions and Valuers. Luke Delizio from the arc into the breeze. What a bonus for the Snow Dogs.
Yeah, one against the breeze. That's huge. But you know it was massive there as well. That was Matthew Watson in the square, and he just shepherded that one through. And Macking down there as well. Expecting him to take a big mark, but I can't believe how close Delizio got to the man on them. What was the man on the mark doing?
I know.
That went through his legs. I don't know. Jesus.
Remarkable.
Anyway, yeah, well,
you could see the effect of the wind in the last 3 metres of flight, I reckon, because it dropped about 10 metres and advanced about 1.
You can see the effect of Matthew Watson as well. He just the rugby scrum, he pushed it forward.
So 41 plays 21, 20 points St Bernard's lead. Whistle in the middle of the ground. University Blacks will get the clearance. Loftus, who's had Gwyn for company for the duration of this game, hasn't had it his own way. The number 22, that's an interesting kick inside 50, didn't hit it very well, and Berardi chops it off easily, and then goes very quickly and aggressively on the switch, finds Harrison Schumann backing into the pocket. Just seeing Lockie Papley walking up and down the bench in front of the St Bernard's coaching box, so we'll get down to Raj Johnston in a few minutes' time for an injury update on him as Schumann goes down the wing. Conlon went the flyer for St Bernard's, got a hand to it. Gwyn tackles Loftus. You can pretty much say that 45 times today. The ball makes its way out of bounds in front of the Blacks bench. Right half forward for the University Blacks.
If you got to 43, would you feel the pressure to get to 45 and just go with it even if you didn't have the tackle? Or?
Yeah, look, sometimes you go looking for a number mid-sentence and you just pick one out. So not my finest there, Hugo.
45 is interesting.
45 is quite specific and quite a few tackles, I think, for our man Dylan Gwyn to live up to.
So it's tossed back into the field of play here. Now it's come inside attacking 50 for the Blacks.
There it is again.
And it's going to trickle over the boundary line for another shot. Interesting, Lockie Papley's got the calf strapped. So it looked like he couldn't put any weight on his foot.
We might get down to Raj Johnston, sorry Matthew, just for an update on Lockie Papley for Author Sport Victoria, Raj.
Yeah, just what you guys are saying there. Lockie Papley has had his right calf strapped, doing some light joggy along the boundary, looking a lot better than he did 5 minutes ago. Hopefully not too far away from getting back on.
Drummond had front spot, was worried out of it by McNichol at the boundary throwing. Cassidy gets it on the boot, bouncing ball towards the goal square. Trying to pick up where that one's gone now. It's just stayed on the ground.
Oh, huge tackle.
That's a high tackle there from O'Neill. It's a definite free kick going the way of guess who, Tongi. And he's finally going to get a bit of luck. He's getting something going his way.
And you've got a sympathy 50.
He's got a 50. Well, he's like beginning to turn.
He's played on quickly.
He has played on because they've got acres of space here. They've got a couple of players free. McNichol's taking the mark. Now, what's the big fella going to do? Is he going to go short? He does. To Dom Sullivan.
Just needs an option now, doesn't he?
What's it? Imano, rather, who goes for the centering kick towards half. Delizio again. Couldn't take the mark to ground. He may have given away free for a hold here. He couldn't contend with the outnumbered situation that time. Free kick to Ben Oliver. It's an halfback.
Wasn't a great entry, really, was it? High, easy to defend.
So Oliver to scoreboard wing. Beautiful kick. You mentioned it. Attawell takes the mark. Hugo in front of the bench. Angus Rana waiting to come back on for the Blacks. And we'll advance it further here. Attawell to O'Neill. So he's 2 kicks from home, 75 metres out. Here's the entry. It's going to be smothered and turned over. Iamano now with it for St Bernard's, who can go quickly. They've got one-on-ones ahead of the footy. O'Neill holds it up, though. Schumann's going to have to get involved. It'll be tied up. Attacking side of the centre square here for the University Blacks, Hugo.
Just the pressure out there. It turns the ball scrappy sometimes, but the pressure from both sides is elite. But you're just waiting for something to crack here.
Special comments all thanks to Hit IQ today as Drummond flicks it to Attawell, who rages through the contest. The handball over the head for O'Neill, who burns away from Eade. Feeds James Clark. His kick was interrupted at the very last, and it trickles out of bounds in the left forward pocket. The Blacks got a flying shot on goal away at James Clark. Now has a sore leg for his troubles. It'll be thrown in, Matthew.
And even the most modern football thinkers will agree with Pecci there that that's just a boundary throw in. No sufficient intent on that one.
Pecci's getting more mentions today than he would when he's actually calling the game.
He'll be lapping up every second of it too, I bet. So it's inside attacking 50 here for the Blacks.
He wouldn't like it, actually. He's a very modest man, Fetchy.
Oh,
You reckon?
Yeah, he'd be very flattered, you think?
Holland runs an arc to try and get out of trouble and does get it out of defensive 50. Coming over the top there was McNichol. And now Sullivan's got it. Sanar back goes on a roaring run. He's asking a lot of Karen Barati here in Gray. Barati's a hard man to beat in the contest, but Gray's done well. Got the hand pass away. Good tackle by Sullivan to hold things up. It's still alive here. Here comes Barati again. Spears a dart in towards half forward. Liberatori's got to be good. He can give it back to Barati, who's lost it at the last. McKenzie gets a hand pass away. And Watson bearing down. Another looping hand pass over the top. They've worked this one out nicely. Darkus, he's dumped just as he gets the kick away. Bounces inside, attacking 50. Is that Campbell Moorfield on the forward line? What's going on there? He's a long way from home. Smith's got it now. He's then Moorfield once more. McNichol again. Moorfield, McNichol. It's a mangled mess on the boundary line here, and I don't know if we're going to get a ball up or a throw in. It'll be the latter. It'll be tossed in at right half forward for the Blacks.
So it's the Moorfield-Macking switch, Hugo. Macking's gone to full-back, Moorfield's gone to full forward. Yeah. So something just to liven things up. Caven's taken Campbell Moorfield.
I think the board man's got the board upside down.
So we do know they have that lever to pull Dale Bauer and his coaching team, as we'll get successive stoppages here as Clark turns tackler. 41 playing 21. It's St Bernard's who grabbed the lead early in the game. The first 5 goals of this contest, and are now just holding the Blacks at arm's length. Wind with the University Blacks for this quarter as Loftus lays a big tackle. Rana handballs inside 50. O'Neill fires it out wide. Grocott will track it. The boundary will beat him. He'll be thrown in 40 metres out from the University Blacks goal. 23 and a half gone in this second term. Thanks to Nelson Alexander. If you're thinking of buying or selling, contact John McKenna at Nelson Alexander. In this quarter, 1 goal to Jack Cassidy of the Blacks. Luke Delizio, 1 goal for St Bernard's. So it has been the Snow Dogs without the breeze that have held strong. McNichol over the back of Rana, tapped it to the bootlaces. Tackle laid by Grocott. Loftus on the outside. Tommy Sullivan got the footy. That's the number 25 for St Bernard's, Tom Sullivan. Barati along the scoreboard wing kicks it directly to Macking, who is impeded as he went back with the flight by Lockie Papley. It's good to see him back out there after what looked to be a nasty injury. He's strapped up and ready to go, Matthew Donald.
Macking comes into the centre of the ground. Now to Oliver, who's got some space out on the far side, on the car park side, I'm told. Oliver sent a high kick looking for Moorfield at full forward. Caven came over the top. St Clair was down there. Barati again, who's starting to get involved. Good tackle by O'Neill. Barati somehow gets the hand pass away to Eade, who's got Watson up the ground. He's contending with McKenzie. McKenzie did well to bring it the ground. Macking gets it now over to Oliver. Wants to set it up towards half forward with a high kick. It's asking a lot of O'Neill down there, but he has done well. Gets it out to Darkus, who's got a man free. Oh, well done the last there from Dom Sullivan. Just got a decisive hand into it because Valpede was away otherwise. And it's knocked over the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in at left half forward for the Uni Blacks.
Yeah, that was great work closing that one out there because Valpede, he was the right option there because he could just turn and move forward. So that was an excellent piece of work. You love to see that by your defenders. Just seems like the Dogs have been really happy to turn this into a real scrap this quarter. But I'm looking at the trees, matey, and I think that wind has dropped off a bit too.
Well, it would make sense if Delizio was able to make the distance from 50 because the breeze in the opening term would have suggested he was no chance from there.
Yeah, well, you got to take your chances when you get them, don't you, Matty?
That's true, and that's a stat I think that's worth keeping track of. Goals into the breeze. It's 2-1 in favour of Uni Black so far.
I'll leave that one with you.
The ball, I can count that one. That's a lot easier than world record for stoppages. High kick comes up into towards the middle of the ground. There's a whole lot of players just sort of standing around waiting for something to happen. And I think I might leave it to Paddy Grindlay to try and sort out this mess.
Oh, thanks, Matty. Contested last 10 minutes or so in a pretty contested quarter of footy. Tommy Sullivan's going to try and do something about that. Macking went for a fly, couldn't bring down the mark across centre half back. It's soccered. Gray will be first to it of the Blacks. They'll close him down. Gray can make a decision. It's a dangerous arcing kick to Valpede. Tongi infringed, and the Blacks will take the advantage down the scoreboard wing. Grocott turns the arc. Left foot inside 50. Nice kick in the Moorfield direction. Caven, who's playing a super game of footy, Hugo, takes the intercept mark.
Do you reckon Caven and Moorfield could go halves in a haircut? They don't need a full one each.
I'll leave that one with you. O'Neill, big spoil at right half forward for the Blacks from the Caven kick, and as they've done for most of this second term, it's a contested tackle fest at ground level. There's another Snow Dog who's slow to get up.
Is that
whistle blows?
It's Holland, I think.
Yeah, the big fella.
Just trying to pick out, I think that might be big Tommy Sullivan, who is right now on his haunches.
You had pretty good odds of it being a Sullivan.
Yeah, there's 3 of them out there in yellow and I think it's a sort of navy, the Snow Dogs colours. I'll have to get to Joey Pinkatara about the official denomination.
Blue and gold.
Blue and gold. Tommy Sullivan's back to his feet, so we'll resume the ball game 60 metres out from the University Blacks goal.
So 1 goal apiece in this term. We've ticked over 27 minutes in it for Nelson Alexander. The hands out to Gwynn, and they've got a bit of space here. The Snow Dogs kick up towards Papley. Knocked away from him, though. And it's good stuff by Ackland Evans over the boundary line for a throw-in. It'll be right in front of that scoreboard that reads 6-5 to 3-3, so a 20-point lead for the Snow Dogs.
We're in a red time here now too, so it'll be very interesting to see if the Blacks can get this forward. Maybe sneak one before half-time, Matty.
Yeah, goal either way is going to be really important here in this final few minutes. Rana with the front spot. Schumann with the tackle on Cassidy. We'll do it again. Rana again. Wynn was there, Delizio was there, Berardi, he overran the football, Schumann once more. Oh, neat little spin out of trouble there from Loftus, so we haven't called his name much. Great kick and a good mark as well by Sinclair, who's too far to score, going to spear it towards half forward. That's looking for Moorfield. It wasn't, he was never a chance of marking that one. It's gone out of play right where the 50 intersects with the boundary line.
Was that deliberate? It must have been deliberate, because I don't know what else he was doing.
Hugo, for Hero IQ, I'm not quite sure what the Blacks are doing with their ball use with the wind. That was not the kick from Sinclair. He's gone wide where he could have gone deeper.
Yeah, or find someone for a run and carry and get. But these shallow entries are absolutely killed. And that, you kick to that there. That's like on a normal ground. That would be in the car park. It's that wide. You just don't kick it there.
So Moorfield's going to do the ruck work here against O'Keefe. The latter got hands to it. Vesio spirals a snap out on the full. That was not close. And Snow Dogs will get the footy back.
And for once, a patron has got up on the hill and retrieved the ball. Thank you!
You are on this. You might be listening to us on the SEN Stadium feature on the SEN app, which you can do as well from the ground.
No, you're one of the thousands doing that.
Tommy Sullivan goes long down the scoreboard wing. Schumann's handball was impeded by Mackenzie, who's come up a long way. Cassidy is left upon by Liberatore.
He wrapped both arms and both legs around.
To the jeans.
The flying bear hug from the number 16. That was fantastic. More of that, please, from Oli Liberatore. It all results in a ball up on the 50-metre arc. Blacks in attack. A kick off the bottom by the looks of a St Bernard's player. Loftus mid-air handball. Gray, left foot kick. High up and down. It'll go in the Iamano and O'Neill direction. Neither got near the footy. And Tommy Sullivan and Berardi are after it. It's the former to Conlon on the bounce, who's tackled by Chalkley. Here's Tommy Sullivan, feeds it backwards. Gwynn, who's had the job on Loftus and has done manfully, kicks it high in the McNichol direction. Ackland Evans brought it down. Mackenzie kicks it high down the scoreboard wing for the Blacks.
High ball, it's gone right through the hands there of Sinclair. Vesio's trying to crash through, he gets it up to Sinclair, who fumbled it. Cassidy with a hand pass over the top. Watson's been thrown into defence for the last couple of minutes. Tongi, well, the way his day's been going. And then Gray, but he might get a free kick.
Slung to the ground.
He did, it was an aggressive tackle, but Nick Tongi's got it here at half back. So we'll be able to just shave a few seconds off the clock here.
He's taking a minute to compose himself here. What have I done?
He's in no danger right now as he thumps the ball down the line. Big pack of players here. Rana got hands to it. There's Sullivan again, who shrugged it well. Got it over to Holland, who's got a bit of room to move. Kicks inside 50, bouncing ball. Got to be good here. So good effort at charging down the hand pass. And then it's all happening. Collins trying to take on Oliver, who was having none of it. And then a little bit of afters as well. This is all happening right in front of us here on the St Bernard's logo. It was Robertson and Conlon who are going at it. And it'll be tossed in inside attacking 50 here for the Snow Dogs.
See what, Nico Conlon's not going to die wondering. No. Clark, clearing kick, advances 20 metres. Great mark, Schumann. So Ethan's going to get one last chance. 31 minutes gone, 41 playing 21. St Bernard's by 20 points. Kicking into the wind. Schumann sits it up there for the Leapers. All Blacks by the looks of things. It could have been Clark or Rana. They could have raffled it.
Dogs had no one there. No one that deep at the time, and he kicked it deep to all the Blacks.
Clark will go to Gray, left half back, and now the Blacks will go quickly. You're right, Matthew, they are out. Spreading handball by Chalkley. Next to the chain is Driscoll, who can get it from Grocott. The kick's not great. Harrison Schumann is there now with Driscoll. Soccered loose of the contest by Eden, out of play, and the umpire says throw it in. 65 metres out from the University Blacks goal. Car park side of St Bernard's College Oval, where it's been the Snowies pretty much from the jump. First 5 goals of the game, as we mentioned, And from there, just holding the Blacks far enough away while they've been kicking into the breeze, Matthew.
Still time, you would think. Nearly 34 minutes in the first quarter, up to 32 now. Ryan up at the front spot, flicked it back, bounce off Delizio. And then the hand pass comes out. Delizio's going to run onto it now. In fact, it's Eade rather. He runs up the line, and there is the siren for half-time. And it's been a very impressive performance thus far from the hosts, the Snow Dogs, still looking for their first victory of the season. And at half-time, they've got a 20-point advantage, 6-5-41 they lead. Uni Blacks 3-4-22. Goal scorers to this point, 3 still for Lockie Papley. Singles to Sullivan, Tom Sullivan, number 8, Tommy Sullivan, yes. Charlie Vagan, Luke Delizio, and 4 Uni Blacks, singles to Vesio, St Clair, and Cassidy.
There's plenty going on here in the pavilion. We'll take a short break. Back on the other side of this with our halftime show.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
The Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Star Award recognises the competition's most talented young players. Each week, the VAFA Rising Star Committee receives nominations for 1 male and 1 female player, aged 20 years or under, who played no more than 7 senior games before this season. Our overall season winners will be declared the Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Stars for 2025. So, if your club has a young gun making their mark, nominate them now at media@vafa.com.au.
Tickets are now on sale for the VAFA's 2025 Big V Gala Dinner presented by City Power. It's a landmark event, the largest function that VAFA has ever staged, and it's celebrating 100 years of Big V representative football. This historic evening will serve as the official opening to the Rep Football Weekend, offering a unique opportunity to honour the legacy of the Big V and its enduring significance within the VAFA community. The Big V Gala Dinner will bring together past players, coaches, club representatives and supporters to reflect on a century of tradition, achievement and pride. The evening promises to be one of the most significant in the VAFA's history. You don't want to miss it. It's at Centrepiece at Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July 2025. Tickets now on sale at vafa.com.au. Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
6-5-41 St Bernard's, 3-3-21 the University Blacks. Half-time at the Snake Pit. The goal kickers for the Snow Dogs, Papley with 3. Tommy Sullivan, that's the number 8. Tommy Sullivan with 1. Vague and Delizio singles as well. For the Blacks, Cassidy, St Clair and Vesio, all singles. Before we get to our halftime show, all thanks to Nelson Alexander. Let's go around the grounds thanks to Tobin Brothers Funerals over at the Melbourne University Oval. It's the Blues 4-6-30, tied with Collegians 5 straight 30. So 5 more scoring shots for the Blues, but scores are level at home there for Matt Smith's team. Old Scotch 7-3-45 lead D-La 5-7-37 at Camberwell Sports Ground. Over at Princess Park in South Caulfield, it's Old Haileybury 7-5-47 leading Old Brighton 5-9-39. So the Tunners with more scoring shots, but they find themselves 8 points down. And in the late game over at Toorak Park, Old Zavarians 4-6-30 leading St Kevin's 3-2-20. That started at 2:30pm, so we're just into the second term there at Toorak Park. A pretty important weekend of footy. Plenty of ladder positions and bragging rights up for grabs across the competition. And a reminder before we get stuck into our halftime show that you can watch 2 of those William Buck Premier Men's games today. Old Scotch and D-Lar is streaming on VAFA.com.au, as is Old Zavarians and St Kevin's. You can watch those ones live and free. If you head over to Community TV, you can watch West Brunswick take on Beau Morris in a William Buck Premier Women's clash. Finally, St Bede's Mentone Tigers hosting the undefeated Parkdale Vultures at Brindisi Street. That one will be live, and I promise you it will be loud as well over at Brindisi Street. Premier C action also streaming on vafa.com.au. My name is Paddy Grindlay, Matthew Donald and Hugo Higginbotham beside me. Pretty much as always at this point in the season, we're joined by a very special guest in the commentary box. It's the president of the University Blacks, Patrick Barry. Hello, Pat.
G'day, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you up here. Not quite the first half you were hoping for, unfortunately, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, not where we'd want to be. That first quarter, I thought the win was really a 4 or 5 goal win, which we're obviously kicking into, and it's been a pretty contested couple of quarters. I see the wins died down, so hopefully the skill can come into it now. So I've got some confidence we're able to come back, but we're only 20 points behind, so still in the game.
Talk to us a little bit about the way your footy club's been going, because we thought you were in a bit of trouble to start the season, 1-4. You needed to get yourself off the canvas, and you have across the last month of footy. Yeah, we have. It was really, when we're 1-4, we were obviously very worried. I was very worried about where we're at. You sort of start the season very optimistic about playing finals, and then you sort of get that point and you sometimes think about relegation. But we had a really strong 4 weeks. We had our first win, a second win against Old Scotch out there, which was great, and that sort of, the players came together. They sort of listened to Dale's game plan, which has been great, and then we saw the following week we beat De La Salle, which was fantastic, and then after that we had St Kevin's at home, and it was called the Miracle on Grass, as I've called it. So we kicked 3 or 4 goals in the last 5 minutes, which was fantastic, and it gave our players a lot of confidence in their ability to come back from those situations, which was fantastic. And then we topped it off beating Old Brighton, for that win. So it's really turned our season around, and I think it's given our young playing group a real sense of belief that they stick to the process, they can beat anyone. Just from your perspective, and obviously there's a lot of on-field that goes into it that you won't necessarily be involved in, what do you reckon's changed from the first month to the last? Yeah, I think that's really good question. I think the last 3 years we've always started slow for some reason, so I think a lot of it can be above the shoulders. I think Dale's the way we go about things has been to really play that contested football. It takes a while to get that to come together, but I'm not sure. If you knew that, I think you'd win more games. But I think it's just been a matter of the players actually listening to what the coach has to say and implementing what he's doing, and we've seen that with the success we've had. Yep. So with the success, we're talking about that. There's expectations around every footy club. I've been around all my life, and expectations build. And you've knocked off the top of the ladder. So how's the outside noise? Because the outside noise is always different to the inside noise, and you've got to shield the inside from that to a certain extent. Yeah, that's a good question. The club has gone through. We did a strategic review at the end of last year, which was really good. We sort of had a look at where we wanted to be, and we engaged Josh Vanderloo, who was an ex-player and also has done a lot of work with the AFL, AFLW, and we've sort of implemented a strategic plan into the club, and that's involved a lot of things which we're implementing, which means we've got a brand new committee. The Blacks have always been predominantly a president that comes back, a past player, then you've got players on the committee. So last year we had our captain Moorfield, he's a treasurer, you've got Snags who's playing, so really challenging, I think, as an A-grade club to be competitive. Fantastic to have the players on the committee, but we want to bring back people who've got some commercial experience and life experience, and we've done that, which has been really good. And that strategic plan, we've set ourselves some goals, and one of those is we've agreed to a premiership in the next 3 years. Yep. You've got to dream big, I think, yep. Which is important. The under-19s program to reform that, and we are seeing we've got 20 young blokes missing out in our under-19s this year, which is not good for those guys missing out, but it means we've got the depth there, which is fantastic. The other component is financially we had to get stronger, and we've actually had, this is through one of our new committee members, Paul Yeomans, who had 100 new members sign up, paying $250 to $500 each to be a member. So we're getting that really good momentum there. And the last piece is really around the community engagement and making sure we've got more people in our database, more people coming to our home games, etc. So we're really starting to see a lot of the conversations and work that's happened over the pre-season and the year before coming to fruition, which is great. One final one. We've got to chat about last week. What a great day it was for the club, and inflicting Old Brighton's first defeat of the season.
what kind of a football watcher are you in those moments? Are you someone who can't look away or can't bear to watch? Because everyone's a little different.
I can't bear to watch. Now, I might go back to the game against St Kevin's when we were 3 or 4 goals down with 5 minutes to go. I actually walked back inside the pavilion and started setting up for the after-match. I just couldn't bear to see us lose. And then I hear this roar again. I come back out, and then the next thing I know, I'm sitting there hugging Ray Wilson, one of our past players and presidents and what have you. And with the Brighton game was a bit closer, so you sort of didn't walk away, but I did walk away from the St Kevin's with 3 or 4 minutes to go. I think we lost that one.
Just before we bring in our next guest, I do want to ask you about that St Kevin's game, because everyone I've spoken to, from the captain Campbell Moorfield to your coach Dale Bauer, has told me that this is one of the most bizarre, ridiculous games of football, bizarre, ridiculous finish to a game of football that they've ever seen.
Yes.
Which, watching it on the tape, certainly proved to be the case. Can you take me into, the moments that followed that victory? Because everything I saw across social media was, I haven't seen Melbourne University Oval like this ever.
Yes, no. I think that the feeling around the club and in the change rooms after when we sung the song, everyone was inside there. It was fantastic. We also, that day, we had an event on at the Pavy, which is great. And the players always seem to get up when we have an event. So we're looking at our events in August, and we're actually going to have the events when we're playing the better teams. So we know that I think it's a 3 or 4 goal
smart, yes,
advantages to our team. So we're going to choose the hardest teams. But yeah, it was fantastic, and as I said before, gave the players belief in what we're doing in the process.
Pat, we'll let you enjoy the rest of this contest, mate. Thanks for your time on our halftime show for Nelson Alexander. I want to bring in Glenn Scarborough, a legend in these parts of St Bernard's Scatters. Are you enjoying today's game, mate? I've heard plenty of vocal feedback from you on the pavilion.
I am, yes. We got a good start, obviously, and managed to hold the margin that quarter. So it was only a goal each, I think, wasn't it, in that quarter?
Yes,
So now we've got to try and make the gap a little bit bigger in the next quarter with a bit of luck.
Yeah, Glenn, well, it's been a great start in this first half. I want to go back to last week just for a moment, because there was so much happening everywhere you look. We've talked a lot about the draw and the chaos of that last term, but I wanted to talk a bit more about the off-field, because we had a huge function here. We had 2 premiership reunions last week. It was a really big day for the club.
It was a huge day for the club. There was a group of 40-odd, I think, from the 1975 A-grade grand final, and 16, I think it was, with the players from 2015. So, yeah, big day for the club, and people who, I've been here I was introduced to the club by a bloke named John Loughlin 40 years ago, and I saw him for the first time in nearly 40 years last week.
Right.
He's never been back.
Really?
And, he lives at Bacchus Marsh or something, and just hasn't had any involvement with the club, and I saw him for the first time last week. It was fantastic. So, but yeah, lots of great memories, and not that I knew anything about 75, but certainly 2015, and to see the players again, and it's always a great day. Premiership reunions are always great, but A-grade premierships are, obviously very special because they're so bloody hard to win. And yeah, it was a huge day, and an amazing game of footy where. You could have sworn neither side really wanted to win.
It did feel that way.
It tried really hard to lose it.
It was well called at the end, because there was, not exactly one for the highlight reel, I'd say, Scatters.
Well, the scores were level, I think, for something like 12 and a half minutes in the last quarter. But between the halfway through the third quarter and early the last quarter, 7 consecutive points.
Yes.
So we didn't want to kick goals at this end, and then when they had their crack in the last quarter, they kicked 3 out the full from 15 metres out.
Should know, Paddy, about the 18-minute mark in the last term, someone from the commentary team, not sure who, but they said it was going to be a draw.
Okay.
So don't know who that was, but they're pretty on the ball.
I have an idea who it could be.
There's very little between the two sides. I mean, we won by a point with a kick after the siren in round 1, and we drew last week. I mean, it's just... The teams are just so close. But it was it's just intense. When they're like that, it's so... Everything is intense, every handball, every kick, and it was great to have so many people here. It was fantastic.
Scatters, before we let you go and take another break, this team in front of you today, who are your favourites?
My favourite players, Tommy Sale.
Which one?
Little Tommy. Nothing wrong with Big Tom, but Little Tommy's my favourite. I love the way Karan Barathi attacks the ball.
Yep.
He gets caught a lot because he's in the middle getting it all the time, but he's a ripper. And I love Ferg McNichol. He's a guy who played a lot of seconds footy, and and then has grown into a very, very important part of our senior team. So, but I love them all.
And most importantly, Ferg McNichol, he's in our F-Bomb Hall of Fame on For the Love of the Game for just some of the wonderful language that we sometimes hear from the great man. And he'll be listening back to this. Scatters, we'll let you get back to the function. A short break and the second half on the other side of this.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food. Because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Tickets are now on sale for the VAFA's 2025 Big V Gala Dinner presented by City Power. It's a landmark event, the largest function the VAFA has ever staged, and it's celebrating 100 years of Big V representative football. This historic evening will serve as the official opening to the Rep Football Weekend, offering a unique opportunity to honour the legacy of the Big V and its enduring significance within the VAFA community. The Big V Gala Dinner will bring together past players, coaches, club representatives and supporters to reflect on a century of tradition, achievement and pride. The evening promises to be one of the most significant in the VAFA's history. You don't want to miss it. It's at Centrepiece at Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July 2025. Tickets now on sale at vafa.com.au.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Third quarter coming up for Community Bank Keilor East. Community Bank Keilor East provides award-winning financial products and services committed to returning profits to local communities. A big shout out to everyone over there. Matthew Donald and Hugo Higginbotham beside me. Patrick Grindlay on the call today. It's the first time I've gone with Patrick since I was about 12 years old.
In trouble.
Don't know where that one came from.
You're no Patrick.
That's where we hung out with Patrick Barry too much. Raj Johnston also on the boundary for us, and our man Bruce on the buttons as always, here for the William Buck SEN Match of the Day. Live every Saturday afternoon on the SEN app and website from 1:45pm. Hugo Higginbotham, your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, very contested, but I've got my new favourite ground in the competition now because we've had a plate of the afternoon tea delivered to us, hand-delivered, so Joey's obviously made a call, so we've got some sustenance for the second half.
And as we begin the third term, it's the Snow Dogs who hold the aces in this second half, and they'll be kicking with the breeze in this third term. Eade got it from Schumann, looked to give it back to Eade, but it's been cut out. Valpede gets away from Sullivan. He might be within range here, Fred Valpede. Keeps it low and hooks it. Oh, that would have been a bonus. Would have been a great start to the second half. We haven't even ticked into 20 seconds yet, and we've got to score 3-5-23. 3-4-22, sorry. 6-5-41, so 19-point lead for the Snow Dogs. Scaven looks to bring the ball back into play.
You can see why Valpede gets the Big V nomination this year. He is sparky when he's got some room. That's a great mark by Delizio in the centre of the snake pit. Got the bodywork on Macking, which is difficult to do. Hits McNichol. He's 2 kicks from home, 65 metres out from goal. Gives it his all. Kicks to Watson. Got it!
There he is.
Matthew Watson on the long lead. Hugo was in bright position the whole way through.
He was, space in front of him. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when with Matthew Watson, isn't it? He's such a strong player and he's that experience. But the kick there, that was just perfect. To advantage. So moved the ball fast through the middle of the ground. And a really good mark by Delizio there too. That was fantastic. And he's been big today, Delizio, hasn't he? He's been involved with a lot. Yeah. So it's good. So what is Matthew Watson? He doesn't miss this guy, does he?
13 disposals, 3 goals last time against the Blacks. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Hugo, you've done it in. He's missed to the left-hand side.
Oh, outstanding.
It's a little ka-ching for the University Blacks faithful up here on the pavilion. A minute and a half gone, third quarter.
Unbelievable.
6:42 now, St Bernard's. 3-4-22, the University Blacks, Matthew.
Robertson will bring the ball back into play. Straight to Berardi, though.
This is good.
So he might just be beyond him here. He'd have to kick from outside 50 if he is going to send it through. He'll hook it into the pocket, and that's going to go out of bounds on the full. That's a bit of a waste. Going inside, attacking 50.
Just a quick note, sorry Matty, just noticed that from Hugo. So Hughes, concussion out of the game for St Bernard's. That's Mitch Hughes, the captain. Charlie Vague also done for the day with a calf injury,
that is big.
Big news for the Snow Dogs. We know that Lockie Papley, Matty, is also sore after what looked to be a calf or ankle issue in the second term.
And Nick Tongi as well.
Yes. He's always sore.
He's always sore. Ackland Evans with a kick outside the fence in 50. Great mark in front by Rana.
I think Tongi's put his cat on Marketplace because is it a black cat? So I think he's getting rid of...
That's not a great kick across the field to play straight to Tommy Sullivan. Little Tommy Sullivan with a dink inside 50. And that works. And this could really hurt. They'll get a good look at it here through Ferg McNichol.
But went for the grass throw as well. It's interesting. There's a lot of Matthew Lloyd about this place, isn't there? I know he's from this area. So actually, he's hit a jumper on the wall up in there.
That might be why.
Confidence from a man who's kicked just one goal all season, Ferg McNichol.
Oh, he's kicked one at least.
So this kick will be about a 45-degree angle, 45 metres out from Ferg McNichol, the number 13. Comes in now on the right boot, sets the kick on its way. The goal umpire has moved across. It's got it though! He loved it as it came off the boot, Ferg McNichol. and the crowd love it as well. Great start to the second half here for St Bernard's. Ferg McNichol finding the target for just his second major of 2025. 7-6-48, St Bernard's 3-4-22, the Uni Blacks, and that is on the scoreboard for Community Bank Key Lorries. And our expert comments thanks to Hit IQ. Here's Hugo Higginbotham.
Nothing better when the crowd gets involved. The only thing that would be good is you've got to understand what he said. I still don't understand what this bloke's saying.
I reckon it's just one bloke.
It is.
Not the crowd.
It is. And I think the toilets are full, Paddy, because there's a young man just relieving himself against the fence over there. He's 4 years old.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It's all happening here.
Takes all tops.
What's going on?
That's very special comments from Hugo Higginbotham. Here's Loftus in the middle of the ground for the Blacks. Kicks it inside 50. Grocott walks outside of the arc, didn't take it cleanly. Tongi got a handball away under pressure. Oliver spins through into the tackle though, then got it loose, so he pings.
As long as we don't have a reverse angle on that.
Couldn't have thought so.
That's where I'm happy we're operating on the radio. Harrison Schumann, left half back for the Snow Dogs. Down the car park wing, macking in a one-on-one with Delizio, or McNichol rather, went with the big leading fist. Went straight out to Holland, who's got Gwynn for company. He turns, goes onto the right peg, kicks it towards the arc of 50. Coming across was Ackland Evans, jumped underneath the football. St Bernard's inside 50. He tapped out of play and out of bounds and be thrown in. We might have to give old mate, I think, a set of headphones because he is giving it his best, and I think this kind of feedback deserves some time on the airwaves, Matthew and Hugo.
What did he have in the lunch?
So if you brought some of
Don't
your
eat the croissants.
If you brought some of your special comments friends along with you, Hugo.
And that's channeling Petchy, that bloke is.
G'day to Simon if you're listening at home. Ball toss back inside to the field of play. It's come out to Sullivan now, who was caught in a tackle by O'Neill. And it's been penalised. He has been penalised as little Tommy Sullivan holding the ball. Free kick to the Blacks at half-back.
So we're going to be very interested in what they do here because the Dogs are on at the moment. They've closed out all the options.
Kick down the line. Sorry, Hugo. Rana doing the roving and pass over the top. It's gone out of play. I was looking for Oliver, but it's found the boundary line instead.
Yeah, he was. The Blacks are just very reactive at the moment, aren't they? There was nothing proactive in what they're doing, and the Dogs are up and about.
So it'll be tossed in his centre wing on the car park side of the ground. A 26-point advantage here for the Snow Dogs. So it comes back into play now. And that's for a high. Strong tackle there by Darkus. The umpire says no. We'll just go again.
And again, a stoppage here, but let's just see if, the Collegians are very good at clearance work. Let's just see if they can get it out here.
Rana down to Darkus, got through his grasp, carried by Harry Schumann, who scrubs a kick forward, doesn't go very far. Robertson coming back the other way, gets the hand pass over the top, and now it can come inside attacking 50 here. Moorfield still playing forward. Not a good hand pass, went past his man there. Although they've still got to allow, he ran out of room just as he picked it up, and Caven has escorted him over the boundary line for a throw in at half forward.
So very important now that I think the Blacks need to get something in their forward half. Well, around their forward half. They need to get in their forward 50. They need to get a little bit dangerous and play a bit of forward half footy and put some pressure on the Dogs here.
It's like some organisation up front today at the University Blacks. Just haven't quite looked connected. Rana, two-handed fist down to Oliver. Schumann with him, taken by Ethan Schumann. And now it's in the hands of Gwyn. Had the job on Loftus today and done manfully. Kicks it high down the car park wing. Conlon. Ackland Evans gets a fist in. Loftus cleans up now. Macking. Dispossessed. High pressure from the Snow Dogs. Gray has to go with an up and under. It advances 20 metres down the wing. Robertson two hands to it. Darkus was clean. Now Oliver on the outside. Will kick a tumbling ball inside 50. Taken in the midst there by Sullivan. That's Dom Sullivan. And now to Eden. The Snow Dogs will work it out through Smith.
Who sets up on the left foot, straightens, kicks up towards the wing. 1, 2, 3. Grabs from Fergus McNichol. Couldn't take the mark. And wouldn't you know it, gents, we've got a stoppage here on the wing.
Yeah, but that exiting kick there, we had another overlap handball where he could have gone laterally, but no, he's chosen gone to back where the congestion is. So both sides are tending to be doing that at the moment. So someone just needs to break that and use more lateral movement to open the ground up, because it's a big ground.
Delizio was trying to charge through there and intercept the hand pass, but lost it at the last. So it'll be another ball up here.
The Tobin Brothers funeral scores level at the Melbourne University Oval, 37 apiece. Matthew Old Scotch leader by 8 points at Camberwell Sports Ground over Delar.
O'Keefe got the tap down, but it was O'Neill who was there to rove it. Spinning out of trouble nicely there was Schumann, who gives it over to Holland. That's a good tackle there by Lowy. Holding the ball, wasn't letting Conlon get out of that one.
Yeah. Yes, he's moved it laterally, good.
And Shelter Macking, despite the pressure of Liberatore, takes the mark and wants to switch it further across again.
He's got players up the field, but he hasn't looked. Frustrating.
Good defence from St Bernard's to get numbers across quickly and just hold things up. Now the kick comes up there like that, but about 7 metres now by pace of mark anyway. And it's been turned over. Holland gets it on the right boot, sends it inside, attacking 50. It's a 1-on-2. And it's a strong mark by Fergus again. What's range? He goes over the top to Watson. It's got to sit for the big fella. He gathers it. He's got to spin it. Gets away from Adderwell. Handbars into the goal square. Saffron Papley was smothered. It was great defence there by the Blacks. How they got out of it, I don't know. But they've relieved it now. O'Neill, he's got to deal with Berardi. He gathers the football, sets a high kick out of defence, but it's gone well out of bounds on the full. It's nearly landed in the car park, and the Snow Dogs will relaunch inside 50.
It was Sam McKenzie on the last line with a goal-saving smother on Papley. That would have been his fourth. Berardi will dump it back inside 50. Clark and Macking from 3 deep went flying after it. Conlon with it. Wants Iamano. He'll turn onto his right peg. He's got some room, Iamano. He kicks it well skinny and out of bounds on the full. It's not a 5 minutes that will be popular in the name of game service. Approaching 10 minutes gone in the third, 7-6-48. St Bernard's 3-4-22. The University Blacks, that lead at 26 points. Ferg McNichol, the only goal of this third term, thanks to Community Bank Keilor East. Clark, right back pocket for the Blacks. Long in the Moorfield direction, it carries him. Tongi's out the back, has Tom Sullivan with him. He's been dispossessed, tried to slap it on through about 4 or 5 pairs of legs. Liam O'Neill emerges with it of the Blacks, kicks it in the Grocott direction on the bounce. Smith throws a shoe at it. Loftus with him now. He spreads the handball to absolutely nobody. Tongi just decides he might pick it up, and he kicks it straight to Clark. Not been great. Clark to Darkus into the corridor. Now they'll get some spread on the footy. This is better. Gray's on the outside, screaming for it. He's got Valpede leaking forward. He marks 52 metres out. Swivels his head inside 50. Wants running targets. Darkus running shotgun. Valpede holds it. Left half forward. Now makes it onto his left, into the pocket. Great kick to Oliver, who doesn't hold on. Gwyn got it loose of his hands, out of bounds. Left forward pocket for the Blacks.
Could tell from the second Valpede mark that he was going to try and get around the man on the mark. Just had that feeling to it. He did it nicely, but couldn't quite hold on to it. So we've got a boundary throw in inside attacking 50 here for Uni Blacks. A good opportunity to try and get a rare goal into the breeze here. We've only seen 3 kicked into it all day. Ball toss back in here. Oliver got down low. Someone was taking it around their head. And then Clark goes in. He's taken strongly in a tackle. And it'll be another stoppage. That was Eid getting over the top of him that time.
Everyone stopped because I saw that he basically ripped his head off, except for the umpire. They're just talking about that breeze, Matty. That was really dropped off at the moment. So kick goals both ways.
Gwyn.
And he's got it again.
And Eid, his kick was smothered. It's come out now. O'Keefe was there. Comes out to O'Neill once more. Well done there by Tongi. Didn't get bowled middle stump. Just grabbed it. Kept well, Matt King over the top. Good strong mark from him. Mark of the day contender, you would think, for Care Plus Auto Services. Now comes into a central location here. Ackland Evans has it now. Too far out to score. Going to try and spear it into Drummond. Gone over his head. Hits the deck. Valpede's in there. He applies the tackle. The hand pass comes out. O'Keefe, he threw that out. Umpire won't play on. Eden over the top, looking for Delizio. Used the body well. Just gets put to ball. And that was a throw as well.
That was a one-hand handball.
It was definitely there. That was the funniest looking handball I've seen for quite some time. The out-of-zone umpire picked it up. And it's going to be an opportunity here for Uni Blacks to get a goal.
There's one down behind play, Grocott, who is bent double, 20 metres out rather from goal. Driscoll just checking on his teammate. Grocott looking sore. Physio out to him now.
James Clark to take the kick for me. He'll be virtually directly in front here. He'll have to kick from about 40 metres. He's kicked 5 goals, 2 in his 7 games. This is his 8th game of the season today, James Clark. Back into the side, missed last week.
Just has to go through here for the Blacks.
Yeah, a huge opportunity into the breeze for James Clark. On approach now, on the right boot. Kick is on the way. And he has got it. And he loves it too, does Clark. He gives the big fist pump to the crowd. That's an important goal into the breeze for the Blacks. 4-4-28. They close the gap to 20 points here. 7-6-48 St Bernard's. And that's on the third quarter scoreboard for Community Bank Kegel East. Hugo Higginbotham. And special comments thanks to Hit IQ.
That was a very, very important goal in the context of the game there, because they didn't want that margin to slip away much more, the Blacks, and they do a really good job of keeping in the game sometimes. But that was there. That was he threw the ball up with one hand and then punched it. So that was a legitimate free kick.
Raj Johnston on the boundary.
Interesting, guys, with that St Bernard's missed goal a few minutes ago, standing next to their coaching box, they were quite disappointed that the player who took the mark that played on and didn't hold and stop. So moments like that could come back to bite them.
Blacks back inside 50. Thank you, Raj. Moorfield. Tongi came over the top. Valpede racing after the footy. Gathered it. Has Oliver by hand. Decided just to take the ball out of play and create a stoppage inside 50 here for the University Blacks, who are pressing. 4-4-28 play. 7-6-48. St Bernard's in front by 20 points, Hugo.
Fantastic pun by Raj there too. I don't know if you got that, but the Dogs could come back to bite them.
There we go.
Great work, Raj.
You don't miss much, do you, Hugo? Very good from our man Raj.
Yeah, he's starting to get the hang of this, isn't he?
Very unassuming operator, Raj.
He
just picks up a few things that you just don't quite notice at the time, but does a supreme job on the boundary for us as this ball makes its way back out of play at the intersection of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line. Fading sunshine here at the Snake Pit. The University Blacks, through James Clark, have cut the margin back to 20 points, but it's been that margin which they haven't been able to close much further on in throughout this game after St Bernard's kicked the first 5 majors of this contest. Drummond into the ruck for the Blacks. Tommy Sullivan spreads the handball. Attawell cuts it down, and he'll be cut down himself by Conlon. Thrown up 80 metres out from the University Blacks goal.
Yeah, talking about that margin, Paddy, I was just thinking before, we're 14 minutes gone or to go or something like whatever, halfway through the quarter. Next goal is very important. If the Dogs can get another one to increase that margin, or if the Blacks can get one back in the context of the game at three-quarter time, they need to be just within kicking distance of that.
Darkus looking for Oliver's, trying to take on 2, and easy caught. They might have taken high. So the umpire spotted it. Some of the crowd disagree.
It's the same bloke every time.
Oliver to take the kick here between wing and half forward, though. Tucked up right against the boundary line. Was to set it inside 50. Right, going to fly. Huge Caven flew as well. There are a host of them that did. No one able to take the mark, though. It's in dispute here at half-back. Conlon gets a hand pass over to Schumann. Kick high towards half forward. Bouncing football. McKenzie's going to be good here. He's going to lead Watson to the football, and he's happy to see go over the boundary line. And the umpire says we'll toss it in. They've got out of trouble there, St Bernard's, and now they can reset here at half forward. Still with a 20-point advantage. 16 gone here in this third term.
For Tobin Brothers Funerals, the Zavs by 20 points at the moment over St Kevin's. Old Haileybury by 7 over Old Brighton.
Look out, big results around the grounds.
Some terrific contests there.
Formative results for the top 4. We'll be keeping across that one over the course of the afternoon, Matty.
We've been given a dream round of fixtures this weekend, round 10 of the VAFA action. Ball toss back inside here. And we'll get another stop. And there'll be a free kick for a high. So it's a free kick. It's Delizio according to the crowd. He'll be lining up from just outside 50 when he takes the kick. He's taken high in that contest. Luke Delizio, who's already got 1 in this game, I'd love to double his tally here.
Oh, yeah.
He's been good today, Delizio, hasn't he?
He has.
And this is this goal I was just talking about before, Paddy, well, shot on goal. This is very important. This is going to extend that margin again, make it harder for the Blacks.
From just inside 50, Luke Delizio kicks it across the face of goal. And Watson got hands to it. Not sure if it was before or after the line. It's gone through regardless for a minor score. 21-point lead here to the Snow Dogs now. 7-7 plays 4-4. 17 gone here in this third term for Community Bank Keilor East.
Tobin Brothers Funeral Scotch 47 playing De La Salle 43. That one's close as well at Canberra Sports Ground and streaming on vafa.com.au. The Blacks somewhat awkwardly to half-back with Oliver, who is chasing this one as it bounces along the white line. The Blacks keep it in. Aleo just tumbles the kick as far as he can.
He's our man.
Uncontested one, which is good news for him. And now he's going to go into the corridor. Oh, no! He needs the contest, does Nick?
When's this man's luck going to change?
Driscoll at centre half forward finds Gray drifting inside 50 at his fingertips. He took it to his own advantage. Turns the arc. 40 metres out, Max Gray. Hangs the kicker. Valpede from the side. It's tipped through by Tongi, who recovered his own mistake. And rushes it behind. Not happy with himself is Nick Tongi. The Blacks 4-5-29, trail St Bernard 7-7-49, even 20-point margin here at the Snake Pit. Nearly 18 minutes gone in the third, thanks to Community Bank Keilor East.
Yeah, I feel for Nick Tongi. You can see him, his head's down, he's shaking it. He's got a chin up, son. You'll be right.
Caven with the kick back inside, comes out towards half-back, gathered by Holland, who comes in with a central kick. That's a really dangerous kick. Big fly from Schumann, couldn't take the mark. He might have got the free kick there. And the crowd like that one. So Ethan Schumann with it at centre half back goes short to McNichol.
I think that gentleman in the crowd might be a Snow Dog supporter too, by the sounds of it.
Every chance. McNichol goes wrong. It's Watson, who was too strong in the contest. He got the one-on-one that he craved, Matty Watson. And he'll line up at Hugo. I remind you not to say anything this time. Matty Watson's going to line up for goal 35 out directly in front.
You won't get a word out of me. You won't get a word out of me. But this is a very important kick where 18.5 minutes gone, so getting close to that three-quarter time, and this will extend that margin. If he kicks it to 27, and that's a big way to come back, considering that the Blacks have only kicked 29 points for the day.
Yep. No goals to this point for Matt Watson. And he's missed it. Oh,
that was not me.
That was not you. No, I'm not going to blame you for that one, Hugo. That was all on the boot of Matty Watson. Just hooked it. So a couple of behinds in this quarter for Matty Watson. Some golden opportunities gone begging. And it's back out to a 21-point advantage for the Snow Dogs. 7-8 plays 4-5 in this third term for Community Bank Keilor East. Here's Paddy Grindlay.
Yeah, approaching time on, 21-point margin. Really important little part of the game now. The Blacks haven't looked like scoring fluidly all day, but they're close enough. How close can they get before we turn for home? It's a kick towards Grocott, scoreboard wing. Macking went for a fly. Smith was bundled away from the footy by St Clair. Tommy Sullivan picked it up, fed it to his namesake, the other Tom Sullivan, who went looking for Gwynn, who dropped the footy down his front inside the centre square. And hold on to it still, St Bernard's. The umpire lurks and will now holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Blacks against Ethan Schumann. Clark's quick to move. Schumann down in back play. Clark kicks it forward, wants Grocott in the one-on-one. He's back on the ground, back with the flight, holds on to it ahead of Tommy. So he's 2 kicks from home. Ethan Schumann down in back play. Grocott drives inside 50. Moorfields got it!
No, he doesn't.
Built it. Valpede, he could have run it in, couldn't take the footy, now has it, wants a target, runs away from Cayman Valpede, back to St Clair,
that was the hottest handball I've ever seen.
It is desperate inside 50 for the University Blacks, left forward pocket. Now what can they create from the stoppage? Matthew Donald Northwood is up against McNichol.
It'll be those two, both tapped it down to Smith, who just goes anywhere will do, but he's kicked it to centre half back. Courage required from a couple of players, really good effort from both. Gathering it, stabbing towards goal, it's going to work out! Mark taken by Lowry, Leon Lowry's got it. Good snap around the body there from Grocott initially, showed good courage in the air, brought it to ground. And Leon Lowry, who has not kicked a goal this season, or Leo rather. Assist there from Paddy, thank you. Leo hasn't kicked one this season.
Very important kick this because they've had a couple of let-offs with those missed goals by the Snow Dogs.
Huge opportunity here from Leon Aleo. Comes in now, and he has got it. They've got a couple in a row into the wind. This is a big move now from Uni Blacks.
And you just think about a few weeks ago against St Kevin's, the Blacks in the last quarter, they were down I think it was 4 goals, so they can kick goals very quickly. So the margin is closing now.
It's 15 points all of a sudden. 7-8 plays 5-5 on the third quarter scoreboard for Community Bank. Keeler Reese, Hugo Higginbotham for
Thank you, buddy.
hit IQ.
Now, mate,
what sort of margin do you feel the Blacks will be comfortable running down with the advantage of a breeze in the last quarter?
3 goals would not be a concern to them whatsoever. But just getting back to that last play there, see, the quick snap from the back pocket there, 4 years ago, you kick it along the line because you're not going to get pinged for a deliberate out of bounds. Now, it's changed the game.
Special comments from Hugo Higginbotham for hit IQ. Clark back inside 50 for the Blacks, who are pressing hard. Tom Sullivan's brought down by Grocott at the arc of 50. Will have it thrown in the air. 22 minutes gone, third term, margin 21, or 15 points rather. So what more can the Blacks do as we tick into time on? Tom Sullivan, that's the one in number 8 for the Bernards. He goes wide. Berardi can't tackle Gray off the footy. His handball was askew. Tommy Sullivan went for the fend, and he went with a high fend, says the umpire. So Darkus will get the free kick, 2 kicks from home.
Loftus. He was free for a minute.
He was drifting forward. Grocott and Moorfield, the deep options for Darkus. He's just going to set it up. Moorfield, St Clair, Grocott, Tommy Sullivan, big fist. It'll go just about out of bounds of the pocket as Oliver is ushered out of play. Right forward pocket for the Blacks, who've had all the momentum in the last 10 minutes, Matthew and Hugo.
Yeah, they have, and it's the fault of the Snow Dogs. They missed those 2 goals that should have been kicked.
And they had that one in there where Watson was running back towards the goal square as well.
Yeah.
The smother on the line. I think that was Mackenzie, I think you said, Paddy. Ball toss back inside here. It's inside 50 here for St Bernard's. Coming back to Valpete. Valpete scores! 3 in a row! And they are right in this game all of a sudden, the Blacks. They are coming with a rush. 9 points the margin all of a sudden here at the Snake Pit. 7-8-50 to 6-5-41. Third term scoreboard for Community Bank, Keeler Reese. And the man from Footscray, Valpete, is in on the act. He's got a goal. And all of a sudden the momentum is with the visitors.
The closest it's been since the 10-minute mark of the first term now for the University Blacks, and wouldn't you know, Matthew Donald with the Footscray reference on the call.
Wouldn't bet against it, would you?
No, you certainly wouldn't. Not that we're gambling people, but you just see the class. You just see the absolute class of the kid there, and he's been busy this quarter. He's sort of putting a bit of a stamp on the game. Everything he does is special.
Darkus holding it in the middle of the ground. So Tommy Sullivan with the footy, who's just about single-handedly trying to keep St Bernard's alive here. 9 points the margin. Dodges around. Grocott on his case. He spreads the handball. It's a loopy one. It's 2 minutes cut down by Ben Oliver. Here come the Blacks again. It's a kick to Moorfield on the lead from Caven. Caven rides him well. Wins the footy down at ground level. Drags him in. He might be gone. St Clair's over the top of him. The umpire takes pity.
I think Caven dragged that in under Moorfield.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's why he got away with it.
So right half forward for the Blacks. 50 playing 41. Only 25 minutes gone in the third. Rana and McNichol, Clark on the boundary line. It'll go out of play.
A stat for you guys. In the last 5 weeks, St Bernard's minus 92 in final quarters.
Ooh, that's a good one, Matty.
Good growth.
You've done your research.
Yeah,
very much so.
That's what I do.
Is that what you do at night?
Yeah.
You just go trawl the numbers.
Just look up numbers and VAFA stats.
Yeah, good.
So it's going to be here at half forward, another throw in. There's been a few of those in this third term. And again, it's going to be towards attacking 50 here for the Blacks. Berardi got a hand pass away out to Gwynn, and now Sullivan running onto it in a bit of space. Looks to try and hit up Watson.
Long way
He's got it now. You're right, Hugo. Far too far out to score. He's going to try and find a man over the back. Liberatore got hands to it. Could take the mark.
Oh, it's hit the post!
Liberatore's missed from point blank range. They've had numerous golden opportunities in this third term. St Bernard's, they fluff them all.
They can't buy one, Matty.
Mackenzie takes the kick in, and they'll be able to settle here, the Blacks.
Did you say fluffed?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Just making sure. Back to double digits. 10 points to the advantage. St Bernard's, geez, they're going to be filthy about some of the missed opportunities in this third term. Free kick going the way of the Blacks here.
The Blacks. Whoa, geez.
So they're getting just about everything at the moment, the Uni Blacks. They're rolling nicely. In this quarter, 3 goals to 1 to cut it down to 10 points. Goals to Aleo, Clark and Valpete in there. St Clair went early. Didn't get really near anyone. Tried to get the lift off the pack, and there was no lift forthcoming, so he just jumped clean over them. And then it will be locked beneath the contest on the car park wing.
He actually hit the ground before the ball even made the contest.
That was a hopeful jump, wasn't it? Rana just takes it out of the ruck, kicks towards centre half forward, fortuitously into the hands of Driscoll. He's 55 metres out.
That's got to be.
It was a close run thing. Driscoll now eyes darting inside 50. Grocot's the deepest. Darkus is the handball option. He runs away. Great run down tackle by Dom Sullivan. St Bernard's the other way through Delizio. Needs to get the handball up, and they are out. Here's Liberatore. Winds up at 50. Pulls the kick towards Holland. It's away from into the pocket. Does he keep it in? He does. No, the goal umpire on the scene to call that one out of bounds.
Now Holland's in the crowd appealing.
Holland has taken a seat over there on the Buckley Street Hill as the ball goes out of play. Left forward pocket for St Bernard's. 27 minutes gone. 51 plays, 41 in this third term thanks to Community Bank Keilor East.
It's another one that they've missed here in this third term, the Snow Dogs.
I'm sure if Libba had that kick 9 times again, he'd hit him 9 times again. But that's just, unfortunate. But that's their luck at the moment, isn't it?
Watson taps it down to Holland, who's tracking it towards the boundary line. This time it's definitely out of play, no arguments there. So we'll do it again. 10 points. Well into time on now in this third term.
This is where the Blacks are great. Like I said, they're never out of the contest. Even though when we looked like that margin was going to get a blow away, and that was the Dogs' fault with those missed goals. But anyway.
Watson and Rana both getting hands to it. Watson having another go, and then Ackland Evans was taken in a strong tackle by Iamano. So it'll be a ball up once more. 28 minutes gone now in this third term. Rana tapped it down. There's Holland's in there as well. He's not the only one. Another stoppage.
They've got a lot of numbers in there, the Blacks, because obviously they're looking at the clock. They know, we're in red time now. A dangerous spot. They just want to lock it up. They don't want to give anything away here.
They've got 3 spare behind the ball here, St Bernard's.
Yep.
Look back towards goal there. That was by Watson. Holland trying to crash through, taken and a tackle by Clark. Another stoppage. It's getting tense here at the Snake Pit.
Yeah.
Not for the first time in the last couple of weeks.
Tell you what, I made it on the grandstand. He's been quiet for the last 5 minutes, hasn't he? Not happy with proceedings.
Rana flicks it back. Oliver fumbled it. Barati goes in now. Gets the hand pass over the top, over the head of Gwynn. Snapped out of there by Loftus. And it's a good mark by St Clair as well, who's taken it at half back.
So St Clair just might be happy to slow this game down because the Blacks have got themselves in a position to make a run at things late. So he's just going to kick it long down the wing. Wants Moorfield had to play from behind. He brought it down to the front where the tacklers will lock the footy up neutral territory car park wing. True centre wing. 51 plays 41. It was 41 plays 21 at three-quarter time. So a 20-point lead for St Bernard's has been cut in half in this quarter. Loftus and Oliver bash it forward. O'Neill has it. Little rolling snap that goes past halfway. Dom Sullivan first to it for St Bernard's. Quick hands. Michael Caven kicks it back down the wing. Oliver best positioned for the Blacks and holds on.
Good strong mark there.
Imano came crashing into him. Oliver was unperturbed.
You would have hoped that Caven would have had the look then, but that was just kicked straight to the Blacks.
So Oliver, car park wing, approaching 30 minutes gone now. Another high kick. Rana's the big tall timber rather. St Clair there as well. Barati and O'Neill battling next to the boundary line. Oh, St Bernard's gets it momentarily. Clark has just held on to his direct opponent there. Smith it was who came spinning through, lost control of the footy. Such was the velocity of the spin. Clark brought him down without the footy. He'll kick it down the car park wing, Matthew.
Does so, Paddy. Watson was the target. It went past him. Robertson was back to relieve. Out to Ackland Evans and now Oliver again, who's getting involved as the game goes on. Clipped over the top to Clark, who marks in front of McNichol. Right up alongside the boundary line here. Not much room to move for him. He goes short down the line. That's asking a lot of Oliver, who was met by Karen Barati, who was not hesitant to give away the free kick there. He wanted to make his opponent earn that, Karen Barati.
Conversation between the umpire and Karan Barati here, which looked a little bit stern.
No 50. Barati only knows one way, and that's to be aggressive.
Oh, I just think he was protecting himself there. He's jumped into the air.
The case he might have been making. Oliver goes inside 50. McNichol with the sprawl over the top comes out to O'Neill, who read it well. He was dispossessed. Shoeman to Shoeman. The Shoeman combined. Kick up towards Watson again, who's got to deal with 3. No good. Ackland Evans at the ground level shot to Oliver, who's made to earn it by Barati again. That time he might have pulled his punch just a little bit, Karen Barati. Back to Ackland Evans.
No one took the mark there. What's going on there? Anyway.
Down the line, and good use of the body by Big Tom Sullivan. Sully, as they call him down at the Snake Pit. takes the mark, caught the umpire, and his kick is smothered. And now Coleman's going to try and clean up the mess, and he's caught. He comes back out now, and getting a kick away there was Tom Sullivan, the big fella again, who tried to redeem himself as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. What a game we have on our hands here as we turn for home at three-quarter time. It's St Bernard's who hold a 10-point advantage, but it's Uni Blacks who'll have the 8 of the breeze in this final term.
It's 7-9-51 St Bernard's, 6-5-41. The University Blacks don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Tickets are now on sale for the VAFA's 2025 Big V Gala Dinner presented by City Power. It's a landmark event, the largest function the VAFA has ever staged, and it's celebrating 100 years of Big V representative football. This historic evening will serve as the official opening to the Rep Football Weekend, offering a unique opportunity to honour the legacy of the Big V and its enduring significance within the VAFA community. The Big V Gala Dinner will bring together past players, coaches, club representatives and supporters to reflect on a century of tradition, achievement and pride. The evening promises to be one of the most significant in the VAFA's history. You don't want to miss it. It's at Centrepiece at Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July 2025. Tickets now on sale at vafa.com.au.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Three-quarter time at the Snake Pit, St Bernard 7-9-51, leading the University Blacks 6-5-41. They led by 20 points at half-time. That advantage has been cut in half by the rampaging Blacks. 3-1 in the third term to make things tight. On the way home, the Snow Dogs will have to do it without star midfielder Charlie Vague and key rebounding halfback, their skipper Mitch Hughes, in this final term. And as I look out across the Snake Pit, Hugo Higginbotham and Matthew Donald, there's another player in gold and blue who is walking rather gingerly through the centre of the oval. So that might be another injury to talk about. We'll have more from our man Raj Johnston on the boundary about that. We'll also hear from Steve Alessio, the coach of the Snow Dogs, over the next few minutes as he addresses his charges as we turn from home. Matthew and Hugo, wonderful game of footy that we're left with here. 10 points the advantage for the Snow Dogs, but it looks like the Blacks have really worked up some momentum here.
Yeah, they did, but the Snow Dogs let themselves down with kicking on goal. They had a chance to put that margin out to, I think it was about 27 points. Because it floated around that 20-point margin. And they had another shot on goal after that as well, but they just really let the Blacks back in. And the Blacks took full advantage.
It's Nico Conlon who looks a little bit ginger and needed the assistance of a physio. He's now doing a fitness test, Matthew and Hugo, by the side of the rest of his team. We'll now go inside the St Bernard's huddle. This is the voice of St Bernard's coach, Steve Alessio.
You need a bit of spell. So you three have got to work together. Backs, you just got to hang tough, yeah? Sock, just give us all for these first 15 or 20, all right? You just have to give us all. You had a good rest, that's why we got you in there, yeah? Shuey, Diz, Dom, and Rattlesnake, you're all there, all right? That's your rotation. Ferg, make sure you're there, okay? Quez, Libba, and Paps, all right, if you need to come off. This last quarter, boys, it's fucking the most block and go we've got to do, yeah? All right? Make sure we're transitioning back. We've got numbers around the ball like we've been doing. The stoppages have been fantastic. Our contested possession has been fantastic right throughout the game. You can't let it slip in this last quarter, right? Let's keep hunting the ball. That's been great, okay? last quarter, let's be composed, all right? So when we do win the ball in the back half, let's make sure, don't rush. Just in that last 7 minutes, we started to rush a bit more. Let's make sure we're composed, we're looking laterally, right? If there's nothing on, hold, we go long down the line, okay? So let's make sure we're in this last quarter, we've got our heads. The way we keep our heads is by all talking to each other, all right? So it's not one or two have the ball in. It's all of us have got it inside and we're talking to each other, all right? We're telling each other what to do. We're telling each other where to kick it. We're telling each other where to handball it. We're telling each other push back. We're telling each other go hard, all right? So that's what we have to make sure we've got to do in this last quarter.
Let's grind it out.
Get one on the bench. Boys, this could be one of our greatest wins, all right? You just have to dig deep, and it's not one or two of you, it's every one of you have to dig deep in the quarter, all right? Let's make sure, you know what you're doing, let's make sure whatever we do, let's go down fighting, whatever it is. Right?
Strong messaging there for the coach of St Bernard's, and apologies for some of the language that might have slipped through. Hugo, that's the carrot. I'm pretty sure as far as coaching parlance goes, he's imploring his team to rise for him.
Yeah, he is. Look, they've got some challenges here. Obviously down to one on the bench. But anyway, let's see what happens.
Down now to Raj Johnston, who has the coach of the Snow Dogs, Steve Alessio.
Thank you, Paddy. Got Steve Alessio with me. Steve, as you said, it's been a rough day for injuries for your team. Just one on the bench. Player fatigue could be an issue, but do you think at the same time, too, moments like this can galvanise teams to cause a response?
Yeah, 100%. We've got to dig deep. We've not one on the bench. We've got half on the bench. So perhaps is carrying a bit of a leg issue. So so it's up to the boys to dig deep. They've done a really good job up until now.
How important is it that your side maintains composure throughout this last quarter?
Oh, super. Just our ability to keep winning the ball and make the right decisions when we've got it.
Thank you.
Thanks to Steve Alessio and Raj Johnston. All thanks to Community Bank Keilor East, the huddle report for three-quarter time. So Papley, as Steve Alessio says, is half a rotation. Conlon out of the game, Hughes out of the game, Vague out of the game. This would be a famous victory if they were able to hold on from here, the Snow Dogs.
Yeah, the messaging there was, let's go down fighting. Well, they're still up by 10 points. Yeah. I mean, the Blacks have to get in front. They'll have to play some really good footy to get in front as well. Let's just watch what happens as the quarter goes on, because fatigue will set in.
For Tobin Brothers Funerals, Collegians ahead by 7 points of the Blues at Melbourne University Oval. Old Scotch by 9 over De La Salle at Camberwell. Old Haileybury by 7 over Old Brighton at Princess Park in South Caulfield, and the Zavs by 20 points over St Kevin's at Toorak Park. The fourth quarter ahead. What a finish we have ahead for us. All for Care Plus Auto Services. You're in the hands of Matthew Donald.
We've got a ripper here at the Snake Pit as we start the final term. Rana and O'Keefe crash into each other in the contest. Delizio is caught by Vesio. The umpire wave play on. Clark with a hand pass over the top. Eade was caught looking for Schumann. Gathered here by Vesio, who's caught by Schumann again. Then the kick inside 50 from Clark. Goes over the head of the contest. Caven came out to meet her looking for Sullivan. He had a bit of a fumble. Then Caven's had to parry it away. And then a strong tackle's been applied. And that was by Tongi, who's inflicting a bit of pain on others now. So taking him long enough. Inside 50 now, the stoppage here for Uni Blacks. Valpede was there. It's O'Neill who steps and scores! What a start to the final term for the Blacks! Liam O'Neill finds the target. Big goal for him. And it's back to 4 points here at the Snake Pit. They're closing further still. Uni Black 7-5-47. They trail St Bernard 7-9-51. We've only just ticked over a minute here into this final term, and that's on the scoreboard for Care Plus Auto Services.
Well, that's not the start that the Snow Dogs wanted, but anyway, that was a really good surging goal by the Blacks, and you can just see the belief. They're running on top of the ground here, the Blacks. Let's just see what happens. We know that the Snow Dogs are very good at their clearance work here. They need to win this clearance.
Haven't led all day, the University Blacks. This is the closest they've been since we started this afternoon at the Snake Pit. Gwynn, awkward landing as Vesio tackled him and he's down. Vesio emerges with the footy, gave it to Clark, who ducked the head. The umpire said play on. Clark is now gone. And it will be a free kick going the way of St Bernard's, and there's an issue here. Yep. The players are calling for a stop of play. Right, and it was Gwynn who had his leg trapped awkwardly beneath him as Vesio tackled him. And he's lying on his side. He has barely moved since the tackle. Not a great scene here. The trainer's out to him now, as are a few teammates, just to reassure him.
Yeah, I think he got his ankle caught underneath himself or knee or something like that when he was pulled backwards. But he's,
Well, if it's as bad as it looks, they'll have to play this last quarter without a bench.
I don't think they'll have a bench this last quarter, mate. I don't think that looks very good. But Papley, they're half the rotation. Well, they're going to use half the rotation now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's his good half.
So Gwyn on his backside. So it's really sad. He's in his first year of playing senior footy, the 20-year-old. He turned 20 just a month ago. 9 games and 1 goal this season, and he's now to his feet and walking off under his own steam, which is great to see, because that looked, to be honest, Hugo and Matthew, when the leg gets trapped underneath in a tackle, you start to think about broken legs and broken ankles. So great to see Gwyn walking off under his own steam, looking certainly very proppy, but perhaps not as serious as we initially feared for Dylan Gwyn there. So the Snow Dogs will get the footy back in the centre of St Bernard's College Oval. Gwyn just taking his time in making his way off the ground, and as you mentioned, Hugo, Matthew, that now means, as we assume Dylan Gwyn is out for the game, no more rotations.
Well, assuming, but if he's walking on his own volition now, it may be able to come back on, but we'll wait and see on that one. Raj Johnston will be all over that. Here's little Tommy Sullivan in the meantime, trying to get around Oliver, and Clark did pretty well, got the hand pass away, but couldn't then pick it up. Oliver swoops in and then scorts it over the line for a boundary throw in.
Did you see him jog, actually, Gwyn, which would be a remarkable recovery over the boundary line, but very proper indeed.
We'll keep an eye on that one, and Raj will get to him in a moment. He'll tell us what the go is with that one. As it's tossed back in now, Rana taps it down, looking for O'Neill, the goal scorer, who tries to just barge through a tackle. It's going to be the umpire who calls for a stoppage to clear this one up. 7 of the last 9 goals kicked by Uni Blacks, stretching back to the midway point in the opening term, and they'll get the free kick here. It'll be Rana, who got it from a ruck infringement, goes high up the line. Good sprawl there from Sullivan, rode well by Schumann, and they're away now. St Bernard's kick looking for Liberatore, who came from third deep, rode well by Iamano. Macking thumps it forward to Rana, and now Clark over the top to Vesio, who had a fumble, and another one, but he's still got time to gather it up and kick it towards half forward, but the kick is errant. It might have just pitched inside the field of play. And
it's still going.
Still inside the field of play.
What is going on
Tom Sullivan was convinced that went out of bounds, and the umpire signalled for a boundary throw. I don't know what to make of that, Paddy. I'm just going to give it to you. For that was
the boundary umpire was a long way away from that. No, Sullivan was probably right, but the boundary umpire or the goal umpire couldn't see it, so...
Dommy Amano just went down behind play as well for the Snow Dogs, but he's now jogging towards this contest, so hopefully no harm done there. They're going down like flies, unfortunately, the Golden Blue. As we're deep inside attack for the University Blacks, we'll get a throw up from that throw in.
What else can go wrong for the Snow Dogs? They're going to get sniped from the grassy knoll.
They're ahead by 4 points at the moment. They hope they stay there. Kick inside or further inside 50 for the Blacks. St Clair's in the goal square. Aleo with him. Tongi wants this ball to go out of bounds and attacks it hard to get it over the white line. It'll be thrown in right forward pocket for the Blacks. Looks like some cramp, I think, there for Iamano. It was very, very slow to get moving on the outer side of the ground. 51 playing 47. 5.5 gone in the final term for Care Plus Auto Services. Iamano getting that hamstring stretched out by a trainer as we watch this, Hugo.
Anyway,
so O'Keefe and Moorfield. It's goal by Vesio! Oh, how sweet was that from the ruck contest! Instinctive from Louis Vesio. He's kicked a couple of beauties today, and for the first time of the match, the University Blacks have the lead. 8-5-53, 7-9-51 St Bernard's. 6 minutes gone in this final term for Care Plus Auto Services, and for Gallant Auction and Value, as that is definitely a goal-a-day contender. Terrific stoppage work from the Blacks.
Excellent roving there for Vesio. You feel, you can see the momentum. They've been in this situation before. Well, they were down by 10 points. They're up by 2 now. They've hit the front. That's an absolutely amazing turnaround. And they're hitting the ground, running, aren't they? They're all the plays in their hands at the moment. The Snow Dogs desperately trying to hang on, but I think they may be in a bit of strife here.
So back to the middle we go, successive stoppages. We can see from our position in the pavilion, Gwyn and Conlon just trying to keep themselves warm, to try and come onto the ground, but it doesn't look likely for either one of them, I must say, as this ball bobbles forward. It's taken by Robertson, who inches the kick into the hands of Darkus, spreads the handball. Aleo, they go forward again, the Blacks. Aleo's kick hung in the air. St Clair hairs after it inside 50 at left half forward. Smith wins the day and gets the Sharon out of bounds, which is just about all St Bernard's can hope for at the moment. The Blacks in front for the first time today. They've kicked 5 goals on the trot to get there. 51 plays 53 here at the Snake Pit. 40 metres out from the University Blacks goal. Vesio with his second. 7 individual goal kickers today for the Uni Blacks. They've spread the load Tap inside 50. Harrison Schumann after it. It's towed by Ben
it's on the
Oliver. Dom Sullivan threw a shoe at it and kicked it out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket, and Oliver will have a shot. Just a brain fade there from Dom Sullivan. And it gives the Blacks the opportunity to reinforce this lead. Oliver's against the boundary line. He's a right footer. He'll step around from 25 metres out and put the Blacks. No. 3 points clear. It looked close.
Can't have missed much. That umpire didn't move.
And there was 3 blokes on the hill, and I'm on hill watch.
You are on hill watch.
And they've walked away from where the ball went. So the Snow Dogs fullbacks had to run all the way up the hill to get it.
Maybe that is our grassy knoll over there.
Oh, it is.
54-51.
The second shooter, I think.
So they've got to try and find a way at St Bernard's with no one on the bench to get in front. They trail now, kick out towards McNichol at the back flank. Couldn't take the mark, gathered by Grocott, hands it over. And Gray was pushed towards the boundary line, and now it's gone out of play for a boundary throw-in. Grocott, who hasn't had a huge involvement in proceedings today, he's been well held.
Nick O'Connell looks like he's about to come back on the ground, which would be another miraculous recovery.
He's got that right knee heavily strapped.
Yeah. He may have no choice. If you can jog, you've got to get back out there, given that they've got no one else they can turn to on the bench here. Ball tossed back in. Berardi was there. He couldn't gather it. And it will be tossed up on the point of the centre square, right half forward for Uni Blacks. Kicked the only 2 goals of the final term, and as we say, 8 of the last 10 of this match. Stretching back to the midway point of the first term after the Snow Dogs kicked the opening 5 goals of the game. Now, there's a play coming off here for Uni Blacks. Just trying to pick up. Is that Rana?
Yeah.
Now, that's going to advantage the ruck division here, and O'Keefe in game 201 for St Bernard's. We'll have a go against the relief rucks. It's Moorfield for the time being. Berardi's there. He's trying to crash through out to Iamano. He got a hand pass away. Robertson's fallen into the back of his man there, and there's been a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Holland for the Snow Dogs, so they'll be able to get it forward.
So Holland, left half back for the Gold and Blue. Big numbers ahead of him down the line, so he switches somewhat dangerously. It gets to Caven before Oliver can get to the footy. And that leaves That's Harrison over the top. No, it's all fallen apart. Caven kicked into the man of the mark. Oliver's on the scene now. He's helped out Valpede. Puts it inside 50. Aleo after it. He'll charge after Reid. He needs to get the handball loose. Did so. They'll work it out now through Dom Sullivan, the Snow Dogs. Crisis averted. Caven, right half back. And now they will work it out. Schumann. Car park wing, neutral territory. Fading sunlight in the shadows. Wants Tommy Sullivan down the boundary line. He'll leap, and he nearly had it. 8/10 of it. Chalkley takes the footy out of bounds. It'll go for a throw in here, attacking side of the wing for the Snow Dogs. 54 the University Blacks, 51 St Bernard's. The Blacks hadn't led all day. They took the lead at the 6-minute mark of this final term. Now they're trying to hold it, Matthew.
And it's Drummond and McNichol in the ruck here. McNichol got
another dog on the field.
We do.
Is that a Snow Dog who's injured or an actual dog?
No, we have an actual pug on the field in the forward pocket.
Schumann applying the tackle.
Leading aggressively.
Yes, we do. So that's sort of a reverse paddock thing going here. Just one out the fat side. He's making a lead here towards the forward flank, but he's gone a bit too early. They've actually got to,
the owner is trying to get him. The dog's not complying here.
They've got to win the ball firstly here. They might
he's giving one up the clacker too. He played the boot into the dog there.
Well, his kick was
That's
smart.
what he's done for the RSPCA here.
This was Roberts. And the ball's gone out of play. The dog's gone out of play as well. So we can reset here for a moment.
For now,
it's a 3-point lead to Uni Blacks. The ball is on the car park wing. Neutral territory. Drummond with the tap down. Patley, who's back on the ground. He's caught in a tackle, and it will be another stoppage. That's 2 dogs on the ground today.
He's put the lead on it though. That's what it's for, mate. Put the lead on it.
Should have been there to start with, but anyway. Who am I to judge?
Yeah, exactly.
Drummond front spot, tap down. Schumann look to get it out to Gwynn, who's back on the ground. So that's a miraculous recovery. And then Schumann again trying to fight through. Vessio's there now. He's caught in a tackle. Gets it away. Papley's in there. Hands it out. Holland wants to run onto it, but he leaves it for Tommy Sullivan, who had a fumble. Has he got time to go back and get it? He does. Over to Holland. Well, that kick has gone up and down the chimney mine. That's gone 15 metres high. McNichol wouldn't have been paid the mark. He might get the free kick, though, for a hold. He does. So he'll get it centre wing. He'll be able to drive the Snow Dogs inside, attacking 50.
Just notice Conlon's back on the ground, and he's gone to the square, so Watson can come up the ground a bit higher.
It's a kick to a 2-on-1. Macking and Chalkley. Ackland Evans, it is Chalkley rather, who flies. Macking will have to lay a tackle here in defence.
hold.
St Bernard's pushing on. The umpire just waving play 40 metres out from their goal. Liberatore feeds it out. Tommy Sullivan runs towards the boundary line, pulls the kick across. Conlon's impeded by that injury, remember, as he comes charging out after it. Adwell takes the footy, gets loose, gave it to Gray. He's got a layo. And through right half back, the Blacks will work it out. Loftus now with it. It's not a great kick to Valpede direction. It looked to take a fair bit of grass on the way into Fred Valpede's hands.
Sensible by the umpire to not pay 50 there, because I think he knew that was
he
close.
made a mistake. That's right.
Valpede runs past the man of the mark. That is a gorgeous kick to centre half forward. It was a late closing spoil by Tommy Sullivan that picked apart the play. Harrison Schumann goes to Caven. He spreads it to Marcus Holland, car park side wing.
Who's in space now, Holland. He's going to try and want to set it up, looking for Sullivan at half forward, but it wasn't well read by him at all. It was a good mark by Robertson, who could relieve pressure here for the Blacks. He's going to kick it short to centre half back. And it's effective enough to Clark, who goes with another short kick up the line. And now it's Darkus who has it. The fluoro green boots. Fans a kick out towards centre half forward. Gone over the head of St Clair. He's going to run back and get it now. Here's Gwynn, who's moving quite nicely. McNichol to Berardi. Wants to go back with a hand pass. Short little kick up the line to Iamano's marked it. And the umpire's paid the 8-metre kick. Domi Iamano's got it now at half back. Loftus on the mark. Just goes high up the line. Watson's the target. There's a sea of Blacks here. Robertson coming in. Liberatore runs in. It's a one-on-one. He's looking for Conlon. The kick's going to get to him on the bounce. He's pushed out of there by Adewell. And then Oliver goes with the kick out towards Schumann. He's the only man who's got it here. He's just got to be calm here, Schumann. Spears it to Sullivan, but Oliver again. Excellent defensive work. Cut out the first attack, cut out the second. He's knocked it out of play for a boundary throw-in, and it gives the Blacks time to get numbers back.
You just can't help but feel that with Conlon with his knee injury, that kick by Liberatore in front of him, if he had been fit and healthy, would have got to it, no worries. But great defending there. Nothing's coming up for the Dogs at the moment, is it?
Getting chances inside 50, approaching 15 minutes gone in this final term. Rana's back on the ground, front spot, Tommy Sullivan's there, as is Marcus Holland. He kicks it high, that kick will carry towards McKenzie, and Watson, who got two hands to it, couldn't bring it down. Clark pushed off it, illegally, said the umpire. Liberatore unhappy.
Gives him another one to go on with Little. Wasn't happy with the first two hands in the back.
Clark, second year at the Blacks, real improver this year, their rising star of 2024. Dainty with the kick to McKenzie. And the Blacks just taking some of the sting out of this one. Robertson, left half back. The handball was for Chalkley. They'll spread it across the car park wing. Darkus over the top to Rana. Under pressure to Oliver. He's dragged initially. I thought he was dragged off it, but got through. O'Neill now to Clark. Now the kick inside 50. It's a well-weighted, well-balanced thing to Grocott, who feeds Valpede. He can run it in. He fell over at the critical moment. Goes again, does Valpede. Gives it back to Grocott. Blacks 2 kicks clear.
Great goal there, great goal for Valpede. He made it hard there, didn't hit every opportunity, but that was just excellent surging football. Just before that, I was about to say that, the Blacks only had a 3-point lead. They need another goal because they were playing like they had a bigger lead, and they want to extend that one. And what do? Straight down the middle of the ground. Beautiful kick. In the end, for goal.
Yeah, they used the extra the whole way up the line. They kept drawing the man and creating the space, so they worked it really intelligently.
And Grocott continues his streak this year of a goal in each game, up to 10 in a row. And he becomes the 8th individual goal kicker for the University Blacks today. Only Vesio in the multiple goal scorers column with 2.
So the challenge really upon St Bernard's now as we start again. McNichol walks away with it, but there's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Uni Blacks. So they'll be able to compound the momentum with another entry inside forward 50. Rana's back on the ground. He'll take the kick. And he just drives it high up the line. Who's prepared to fly? St Clair went early again, real early. It's come out the back to Vesio, who suckled it intelligently to his own advantage. And then what's happened here? The goal umpire says his cap taken off. It's come into the post. It's been rushed through for a moment. It's all happening here at the Snake Pit. I think after all, that's a point. Let the umpire get his hat back on too, already.
I think it was Caven who went with the flying sort of karate kick style to rush the line.
It was a great effort there.
The Jackie Chan kick. That's not a good exit coming out of defensive 50. It's come to Oliver, who gets around Schumann, walks to the goal. This is going to go close. It won't quite have the carry going back. Tongi's taken the relieving mark on the last line, and he'll relieve for the Snow Dogs.
So, Hugo, what do you do now if you're Steve Alessio for hit IQ? Do you throw some magnets around the field? Do you throw caution to the wing, just go corridor?
You've got to throw caution to the wing. You're down by, 10 points, so they need to get something happening here, but you don't need things like that happening as well.
Macking chops down the kick from Tongi, and he'll have a shot from 55 metres at right half forward.
The other thing is, with the injured blokes they've got out there, there's not a lot you can do with Conlon. Like, you've got him at full forward, where else can you really put him?
No, exactly, but that's not the biggest problem. The problem is that at the moment they're just trying to bomb the ball at every opportunity. You need to send the runner out and tell them, calm down, we just need to work this methodically, we need to maintain possession, but speed of ball movement's key. And what haven't we done today? Let's change things up. Let's move the ball laterally. Let's try some things.
Macking for a 16-point lead. He won't score. It's well wide out into the right forward pocket where McNichol fists it out of play. It'll be thrown in beside the behind post, and gentlemen, it gives us the opportunity to go around the grounds for Tobin Brothers Funerals. Old Scotch by 21 points over De La Salle. Old Haileybury and Old Brighton tied at 69 in South Caulfield. Old Zaverians up by 21 points over St Kevin's at Toorak Park. It's Collegians by 5 points at the Melbourne University Oval over the University Blues, Matthew.
McNichol and Moorfield here. The two relief ruckman. Moorfield got hands to it, gathered it, snapped, his kick was smothered, he goes in again, gets the hand pass away. It's really congested here. Gwynn applying the tackle. Another stoppage. So Conlon and Gwynn, who we thought were done for the day at early stages in the last quarter, are back out there. Sinclair comes over the top. He's got a real timing issue here.
He's a recidivist, isn't he?
He's done this a few times.
He assumes that someone's going to come underneath him to give him the second lift, but it hasn't happened on 3 or 4 occasions today.
I don't think it ever has.
Well, yeah, the team... Oh, big fly coming in from the side. Rana Macking was there as well, but it's the former who's taken a nice mark. Taking a couple of good grabs here.
We've got every Snow Dogs player just about inside the 50, the defensive 50.
So Rana drives it back inside 50. That has to be a free kick. The umpire waved play on. It's okay because St Bernard's at the ball anyway. Barati to Liberatore, who's got it centre half back. He's got to come back over the mark. He's got Caven running alongside. He chooses to ignore that though, wants to go further afield, asking a lot of Conlon. Did reasonably well to bring it to ground, Conlon. He and Adderwell fighting hard for it. Neither can take clean possession. Now Adderwell's fallen on top of it. He's got a problem here. The umpire says no, that's okay. That's okay.
He did well there, Conlon. Considering the injury he's carrying, they could have easily carried that one away, so he's done an excellent job there. But probably not the player you want to be kicking to, considering he's playing on one leg at the moment.
He is dead set moving like the Tin Man at the moment, Nick Conlon, so it's manful that he's battling on.
Yeah, we had a heart.
Yeah, well, he hasn't lacked any of that in this final term. Gwynn was caught. Iamano gathers it, snaps inside attacking 50. Caven was taken over the shoulder. The umpire has paid the kick. He's got it. Michael Caven with an opportunity to goal. For those who were here last week, he had an opportunity in the final term to score to give St Bernard's the win. The kick went out on the full. He's got an opportunity to redeem himself here today, Michael Caven.
So the thing with Michael Caven, Matthew, is that we're used to seeing him as a defender, but he did start life for the Snow Dogs as a forward, a 47-goal season back in 2018 in Premier B. So he has got the ability to put it through the big sticks. What a time it would be to kick his first goal of 2025 here.
This is a big opportunity. He's been terrific in defence all day, Caven. Can he do the job up forward? The kick's going to go close.
Across the face.
It had the distance, but it's gone wide. Hugo Higginbotham was on the spot. He called it. 9 points. 7-10-52, 9-7-61 Uni Blacks in this final term for Care Plus Auto Services. Paddy Grindlay.
Robertson, last line, darts out of the goal square, runs his full measure, kicks it far down the car park wing. It's a well-balanced kick to Grocott, who came up a long way to mark that one in his chest. So the Blacks get out quickly and then cross halfway. Grocott wants Valpede or Vesio. He gets the latter rather. Vesio chasing after it now inside 50. Schumann with him. Schumann tackles Vesio off the football. Smith to Tongi and now to Ethan Schumann. Whistle on the play, advantage going the way of St Bernard's. That's a great kick towards McNichol. The fist got involved though. McNichol now ties it up beneath the legs. In fact, soccers it clear of the contest. Now Loftus or Harrison Schumann with the footy. Still on centre wing here, car park side. The Blacks emerge. Valpede gets it. Runs inside 50, loses control of the footy. Goes again to Freddie Valpede. He's out of control. He's wiggling to the inside. He spots up Grocott. And the Blacks will get another shot at goal. Valpede's dancing feet. Sometimes he evades even himself, does Freddie. but Grocott will get a shot at his second from left half forward, 40 metres out.
He made it hard, but he had a lot of composure there, and a lot of players. Some players have time and space, no matter how many players are around them. He always has time and space. So, Matty, where does he play footy at a higher level? I think you mentioned earlier.
I think he's a representative for Footscray. He's been playing for Footscray in the VFL. We're having a pretty good season so far.
I don't know where I got that stat from, but I plucked that one.
9 points the lead for the Blacks. Grocott can make it really hard for St Bernard's here. He's left it skinny on that left. And still the door ajar for the Snow Dogs. 9-8-62 the Uni Blacks, 7-10-52 St Bernard's. Now they haven't kicked a goal since the opening stages of that second term, Matthew.
So Dom Sullivan just going to walk this one out of defence. Goes to McNichol on the second grab. Did well. Good use of the no! Free kick for in the back to Rana. Oh, there were no hands there at all. Short to Aleo. Oh my Godfather, Paddy Grindlay. Oh wow, with the kick inside 50 now, it's a bouncing ball. It's come back out.
No, we don't.
Benji was not happy. We need to get him up on the phone box. And that's in the back. A bit of justice served and St Bronx cheers from the Snake Pit crowd. And they've got it back here, the Snow Dogs. They're not taking any, well, they're taking all the chances here in the world. Goes up to Caven and Macking. Two blokes who put him in the air. And that's another free kick to Caven, who goes inside attacking 50. But Watson knocked away from him. It's still alive at the ground level, trickling towards the boundary line. Appeals for insufficient intent. And that is not going to be heeded. It's going to go to play for a boundary throw. Paddy Grindlay, I've got to have a minute to go on about that free kick.
You need a cold shower, I think, my friend. So we throw it inside 50, 40 metres out.
This is good by the Dogs because it's only 2 kicks. There's still plenty of time here. We can get a quick goal here. This is, well, it's game on as far as I'm concerned.
So they've got it inside 50. They're going to have a punter's chance here. It's thrown back in. Rana at the front spot over Watson wins it down and they'll tie it up. Chalkley doing the tackling on Liberatore. Right half forward for the Snow Dogs, who've had it inside 50 enough this quarter, but just haven't been able to generate scoring opportunities. Rana flicks it clear. Chased down there by Ethan Schumann. Lost control of the footy. Vesio big tackle. Holds.
There's a free kick.
Going the way of Schumann. So Ethan, he's 55 metres out. Collins in the goal square. Watson with McKenzie as well. The kick will go in the Watson direction, who is 3 deep. Rana at ground level, he's marked it.
Yep, he's done well there.
Got the first hand to it, and then as he was collared at ground level, held onto the footy.
And also too, he's had his ribs tickled a little bit on the way down.
He's stiff enough to get a 50 there, I think.
What were you saying earlier about the reserves handshake? That might have been what was offered to Angus Rana at fullback here, and he'll move the Blacks forward.
So it'll take a moment here. Rana's taken some excellent marks in this final term. Call to go now, so he just boots it out of the defensive 50. Huge fly coming over the top. Third McNichol. That's a mark of the day contender. Absolutely for Care Plus Auto Services. McNichol sends it back inside, attacking 50. Holland was there, couldn't take the mark. Spills
great tackle.
Play on. Hugo Higginbotham fuming here. Gwynn with the turn pass out. Doesn't go very far. And now he's trying to take on the world. He's caught the tackle. The umpire says, give it to me. It was Adewale who applied the tackle. They're pressing the Snow Dogs. They're not giving this one up just yet. It's 25 and a half time in this final turn. Watson taps it out. Holland trying to run it away. He's in the back. The umpire said no. There are appeals for it from the crowd. There are appeals for it in the commentary box. But the umpire said no. Give it to me. We'll restart it here with another stoppage. Everyone's in this half of the ground. Uni Blacks trying to hang on. But 5 wins in a row for them. The Snow Dogs looking for their first win of the season. Clark spins out of trouble and kicks it out of there. The tip going in for the side there. There's the step at 20, and that's holding the ball. Nick Tongy's got things going for him now.
It's his time to shine here.
Now he's got to find a target here as he drives this one inside, attacking 50. He is just going to bomb it long. Sets it out to 30 for goal. Caven's bang! There it is! There's your mark of the century! Away Mackie flew!
We knew it was coming!
He touched the clouds and clapped the footy! And he drives it out there. I'm sorry, Paddy, that should have been yours. That's another one.
It's still got 2 in a row. 3 in a row.
Oh man, Matthew Donald, I think his head's about to blow up.
Sullivan going for Conlon. Yours, Paddy.
McKenzie. Defensive 50 for the Blacks, gets it out to Rana. There's a lot happening here at the Snake Pit, you might be able to tell. St Clair loses control. Still the Snow Dogs come. They're pressing so hard. Papley swirls Vesio at half forward for the St Bernards. Papley on the bottom, Clark on the top. The umpire calls a stoppage. It's all happening.
Well,
away marking. The frequent flyer leapt out of the postcode. Huge grab in defensive 50. But still, the Snow Dogs have a puncher's chance. 10 points the margin. Berardi to the edge of 50. Adderall dropped the mark. Now he's got a problem. Spreads it to Loftus. Just needs to kick it out of there. Does so down the scoreboard wing. St Clair came up to meet it and marks. And they'll peel off him and go forward. St Clair opts for the wider option. And just holds up the play momentarily. Grocot's been good in this second half. 52 plays 62. St Bernards need 2 goals, 27.5 gone. They're running out of time. Long inside 50 for the Blacks. Vesio chasing after it. He's tackled off the footy. Dom Sullivan goes for St Bernards. Has got Tongi or Smith. It's now Smith. He's been tackled. Driscoll of the Blacks kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Now, we've had a few stoppages this quarter as well, so this quarter's going to go long, boys. There's plenty of time here. They just need to compose. They've got the ball in their hands now, the Dogs. Let's see what they do with this one, Matthew.
It's at the wrong end of the ground, though, for Tongi and for St Bernards. He goes high up the line. McNichol was there. He got hands to it, rode by little Tommy Sullivan, but he's not able to reel it in play. Goes out of play for a boundary throw-in. 28 minutes gone here in this final term. So in terms of a count up clock, we're thinking, 4 or 5 minutes still?
I think so, exactly. There's plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
It's exciting.
And they've been able to win the ball forward enough, Hugo, on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Drummond front spot of the tap, the ruck contest, tapped it down, looking for Oliver, who's on hands and knees. Holland over the top of him. Another stoppage here at half forward now for Uni Blacks. They've kicked the only 3 goals of this final term.
Probably doesn't help the Dogs when they're really good entries when Macking takes a mark like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was a terrific grab. 2 mark of the year contenders in 10 seconds. Berardi there, ground level. Drummond tried to flick it forward, eventually gets a kick forward. Now Berardi and Gwynn applying the tackle. Combine and another stoppage. This has just stopped all of a sudden, this play.
And this is what the Blacks need to do now. Yeah. St Bernards have been able to win the ball on the outside and charge it forward. St Bernards throwing numbers ahead of the footy. The Blacks evening them up.
Free kick, it'll be Snow Dogs' ball.
Here we go.
So McNichol's got it. He's got a couple of players short. If he wants to go wide, instead he goes long to Watson. Oh, good use of the body by McKenzie. Terrific one-on-one mark.
McKenzie's been excellent today. Since they made that move, freed up Moorfield, McKenzie's been fantastic.
So McKenzie, 29.5 gone, 4th quarter footy, still the 2-kick lead, big grab in the mark. McNichols had a strong 15 minutes or so, goes on the switch, not a great kick, it'll skip through. Holland gets on the end of it in the end, over the top to Eade, they've got the corridor now, St Bernards. Eade with the running bounce through the centre of St Bernards College Oval. He wants Caven a long lead, they all ran past it, Macking tracks it back, inside defensive 50, just tumbles the kick down the car park wing, it'll work out. Valpede and then over the top to Oliver in open space at left half forward. Numbers inside 50. St Clair's pushing wide. Oliver hits him in stride. He's 30 metres out, left half forward. And with a goal can effectively seal this contest. 52 playing 62. 10 points the lead for the University Blacks. And Tom St Clair can put a button in it.
Geez, they've had their chances this quarter, the Snow Dogs, haven't they? That entry there, he probably didn't need to pull the trigger on that one yet. He still had some time and space in the middle of the ground, could have taken a little bit more grass, pushed it deeper, but oh well.
Tom St Clair,
there it is.
There's your game!
There you go.
And the Blacks have come from behind, like they so often have this season. They will win their 5th consecutive game. And pending a result at Toorak Park between the Old Zaverians and St Kevin's, the Old Zavs ahead in that contest at the moment. They will go into Sunday inside the top 4 of VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Division after starting the year with 4 losses from 5 games. What a turnaround it's been for Dale Bowers' men. 10-8-68 they are. St Bernard's 7-10-52. St Clair kicks his 2nd. He's the only one of 2 multiple goal scorers along with Louis Vesio today for the Blacks. We're going to do it here at the Snake Pit.
What a come from behind win it's been from the Blacks. It's now up to 16 points. They're continuing to fight here, the Snow Dogs, but Clark's won the football, gets the hand pass away, comes out now to Alejo, who drives the kick up the ground. Looking there for Driscoll. Was he able to keep it in play? He was. Gets a hand pass over Neil, and then over the top to Darkers, who had a fumble. Still got time to recover. Looks to hit up. He's man inside 50, and there's Moorfield. who on the lead takes the mark, and he'll line up for goal. And this will just be the icing on the cake.
Skins Player of the Day nominees from you, Hugo Higginbotham. I'm thinking James Clark is my one for the Blacks, the number 8, who's been outstanding on the wing with the goal as well.
Yeah, Clark, very, very good. The other one that I was thinking about, or possibly with Vessio's being good, I'm trying to find one against you, but no, I'm going to go with you.
So for the icing on the cake, the skipper, how fitting it would be, Campbell Moorfield walks in and wraps it up in fine style. What a victory for the Uni Blacks. What a moment for Campbell Moorfield. What a run of form Dale Bowers men are on. That's 5 in a row. Their 6th win of the season. They've kicked 11 of the last 13 goals here at the Snake Pit. And it's one of their finest wins in 2025. They are proving one of the teams to beat in this campaign with the run they're on. Full time, 11-8-74. St Bernard's 7-10-52.
Well, it was an amazing finish to that game, and just what I spoke about before the game, that the Blacks are never out of the contest, are they? So you look at that game, and just the belief that must be building in that side is amazing. Look, some great individual performance. One of the moves from Dale Bowers, the move of Macking to go back, that was huge. And, you know, he was instrumental in that because Matthew Watson is such a dangerous player. Wasn't playing on him, but playing around that area. So he was the one designated to peel off and be that intercepting player. Did it perfectly. He was an excellent player. And we knew it was coming. We didn't know where. And well, he laid it to the last minute and the most important kick of the day coming in. And he's just flown above everyone. Well, we already had mark of the day done. And he said, no way, boys. I'm here. That's mine.
He waited till the very last, did our man Away Macking, who promised us a specky. And he gave us one as well in the dying minutes. We'll have an interview with the University Blacks star wingman James Clark in just a few moments' time. The number 8, he's our Skins player of the game, all thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. You speak about Matthew Watson, 3 goals in the corresponding matchup earlier in the season in round 2 at the University main. No goals today. Should have had 2 set shot opportunities that he didn't take. But that's really the response, I think, that the University Blacks defence would have wanted after their round 2 loss.
They would, and there was 4 opportunities in that quarter where they could have extended that lead to what would have been a psychological buffer of 27 points or so. They had the 2 set shots, the one where they fluffed it in the square like what you spoke about, and there was another one up there, I can't remember what it was, but it was just telling that, and it turns out to be, you know, the margin blew out slightly, but it stuck at that sort of 10 points, and it could have very easily been a lot more of a margin at 3/4 time, but anyway,
one goal, 4 in that third term, and then that miss in the goal square as well.
Our Skins player of the day is James Clark of the University Blacks. He's with our boundary rider, Raj Johnston.
Thanks, Paddy. With our best on ground, James Clark, who's won himself a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights. Thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. Well done, James. Talk us through that final quarter, just in your words. How did that play out?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew St Bernard's a quality outfit. They always are, and especially at the Snake Pit here. They've got their supporters behind them, and we knew that they were just going to continue to come and come. It's on us. Obviously, we didn't start the day very well. Our first half was probably as poor as we've played this year. But to find a bit at half-time and then come out, obviously our third quarter was definitely our best quarter. That was, a really good quarter from the Blacks boys. But credit to St Bernard's again. It's another great contest.
That's 5 in a row for the Blacks now. You've really resurged your season in the last few weeks. Is there a couple of things you can attribute that to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you've heard, we're pretty happy with our pre-season, and we just didn't start very well in how we expected to. But it's all about, we're trying to get speed on the ball. We know that we're a great contest side, but we're trying to just open up the corridor and get forward and open up our leading lanes for our forwards.
Just finally, did you see Mackie Yang's mark there in the fourth quarter?
Again, I was behind it again, so I don't know. I looked up at Paddy and I went like that too. You were up there too, mate. So, he's absolutely unbelievable. I don't know how he's not on a VFL list, to be honest. Get him on there, I think, because his athletic ability is unbelievable.
Yeah, we'll let you get in and sing the song. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks to James Clark, who's our Skins player of the day. Just giving his teammate Away Macking a bit of a pump up. A big congratulations to Raj Johnston as well for a beautifully conducted interview.
Bit too honest there from James Clark. Would have thought he'd want Macking to stay on the Uni Blacks list. Don't give away your secrets. Try and keep them under wraps as best you can. Yeah, I feel a bit bad, Paddy, that I called the Mackie mark, because that's one that you deserve, I think.
I know, we all got in on it.
I just really hope that we've been able, because we haven't had a great history this year, Hugo, with capturing marks of the century. Let's hope that our man did okay there. Great win for the University Blacks. 5 on the trot, as you mentioned. And we'll just be about to hear their club song from beneath us here in the pavilion. 1 on the road as well. St Bernard's still waiting for their first win at the Snake Pit for 2025. We're now past the halfway point. It's just a confusing one, isn't it? It's hard to put your finger on. 5 wins at home last year, none so far this year, and they played this game with an eye to the top 4. They were 4-4-1 coming into this game with the 1 draw last week. They now go to 5 losses and find themselves back in the pack a little bit, the Snow Dogs.
I think we mentioned the missed opportunities. Clearly the injuries hurt as well. I mean, they basically ran without a bench in that last quarter, and they had at least 3 blokes who were playing under duress out there. They had Papley, Conlon and Gwynn as well running around. If they had a full bill of health or a clean bill of health, it might have been a different story.
We need a musician.
The lyrics halfway through that.
I need someone to take me through the ins and outs, the verses, the rhythmic assembly of that song. That was going in about 3 or 4 different places at once.
Not sung like a side that's already sung it 6 times this year.
They got a little bit lost 75% of the way through, but they found their way back at the end of it. Congratulations to the
you said the word
Blacks.
rhythmic. I don't think there's much rhythmic about that.
Oh, goodness gracious. There's a few really interesting ones across the Yamos.
Eclectic, maybe.
It's not quite the St Kevin's ramble that we hear occasionally, but it's up there with the University Blacks. And as things stand on the live ladder, they are inside the top 4. Here are some of the results, because there's some really interesting things that have happened around the competition while we were calling the Blacks home here at the Snake Pit. All thanks, of course, to Tobin Brothers Funerals. For any funeral needs you might have, you can contact past player Hugh Tobin at Tobin Brothers. We'll start at the Melbourne University Oval, because for the second week in a row, the Blues can't be split from their opponent. They have drawn with Collegians. 6-10-46 the Uni Blues, 7-4-46 Collegians, locked at 46 apiece. That's really shaken things up. So the half a game advantage, I suppose, the Blues had on the rest of the competition evaporates with that one. 2 draws in 2 weeks for Matt Smith's mob. I feel for Matty, a first-year coach, his heart rate might be a little bit higher than it started at the start of this year.
Might have an appointment with the doctors on Tuesday, and that percentage of infinity they had, it's come and gone in a week.
That it has. The goal scorers 2 for James Stewart. His notable Dylan Thomas kicked 3 for Collegians, 2 for Alex Lukic. Over at Camberwell Sports Ground, Old Scotch, 14-8-92, running away from De La Salle, 8-11-59. In the final term, it was Scotch by 3 points. At the 3-quarter time break, they kicked 7 goals to 2 in the final term. Just about doubled their score, actually, to get over the top of Nick Hyland's men. It's an improving D-La team, but unable to get that first win in top flight in 2025. 3 goals apiece for Will Clark and Andy Gelbart. For the Cards, D-La Luke Healy kicked 4 goals. Ryan O'Meara with a couple. I really like Luke Healy. He's an outstanding prospect. They'll be watching him for a long time down at the Dairy Bell. Let's head next to Princess Park in South Caulfield.
Amazing.
Old Brighton 9-17-71, just getting it done over Old Haileybury by the barest of margins, 10-10-70, a 1-point victory for the Tunners, who avoid 2 losses in 2 weeks by a point. 4 goals for Andreas Stefanakis, the story there in South Caulfield. No goal scorers noted in Play HQ for the Tunners, but they've got out of jail. It was close all day after the Tunners initially led by 4 goals at the first break. Old Haileybury had the lead by half-time and just weren't quite able to get it done at the last. In the final quarter, the Tunners 2 goals, 3. The Bloods 1 goal, 2. So just getting it done late Marcel Bruin's team. Just having a little bit of a wobble in this middle part of the season, but not losing too many points for their trouble.
That seems like a game that lived up to expectations. We were hoping that was going to be a beauty, and I think they've delivered on that front. 1 point, gee.
Isn't Old Haileybury the story of the season coming up? And, no one expected them to, probably middle out it during the year in a consolidating year. They're serious contenders, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're as good a chance as any of taking it out this year, and that proves it. Old Brighton have been the benchmark this season, and all those contenders will be eyeing up their contest against Old Brighton just to see where they stack up, and Old Haileybury lose no fans today.
A 47-point loss in round 2 for the Bloods when they played the Tunners, so they've ratcheted back the margin to a single point. So that's the improvement that half a season in top flight can give you. The final game is still ongoing, so you can head to vafa.com.au to watch this one play out. The Old Zaverians taking on St Kevin's at Toorak Park. I reckon the fourth quarter would have just started with the 2:30 p.m. bounce. The Zavs look like they're going to win this game of footy. 12-12-84, they lead St Kevin's 6-11-47. So better than 6 goals the advantage for Dan Donati and his team. They look like they are going to knock off the Scobbers, which will mean the University Blacks will go to bed tonight inside the top 4.
Well, that's a credit to. Now, one thing about that, I've looked at that. They haven't beaten up on the bottom of the ladder to get here either. You can only play the top sides that are around you, but they're beating the sides that are around them. And I've just seen today one of the really great composed teams. Yep. We watched them coming off the ground. They're a young team, aside from Morford and a few others, but they're playing with such energy and confidence too.
Well, you say Campbell Moorfield, but he's only 26.
You're joking.
So he's not an older guy.
43.
He's wise, and we know that Pat Barry was telling us this during halftime, that they give their players elevated roles within the footy club. So I believe it was treasurer for Campbell Moorfield, but only 26 years of age. You go through some of their younger players. Harry Atterwill is 22, Liam O'Neill 22, Jack Cassidy 23, Harvey Driscoll 20, James Clark, our best player today, only turned 21 in January this year. So they do have a young group together.
Yeah, but the experience that that group's getting, and they're growing week by week, you can see that. Would have been very easy for some sides of young teams, of young players, to lay down in the second half of that game against it was a physical game today. There was a lot of hard hits, so it's interesting.
So it's our post-match show, all thanks to Whitbread. Whitbread Insurance Brokers are trusted advisors to commercial and family businesses. They've done that since 1978. The winning coach, Dale Bauer, will be in the commentary box in just a few minutes' time, so stick around for that one, Matthew Donald. That should be a fun chat.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially after a win for Dale.
Always will be. And we've just talked about those around the grounds, and I'll just give you the ladder thanks to Author Sport Victoria, so how that looks now. So Old Brighton push a game clear, 9-1 record. One game behind them, Old Zavs on 8 wins, 32 points. Old Haileybury remain in third despite going down. Uni Blacks, we mentioned, have pushed up to fourth on the ladder now. They're outright fourth thanks to their win today. St Kevin's dropped to fifth. Old Scotch with their win have climbed up to sixth on the ladder on 20 points. St Bernard's have dropped to seventh, 1 spot. And then Uni Blues and Collegians have gained 2 points each. They remain in 8th and 9th spot respectively. And then D-Lar still without a win in 10th spot on the ladder. And that is for All the Sport Victoria, Melbourne-based team of experienced orthopaedic surgeons helping you get back to life, Paddy.
Pristine stuff, top and tailed by you, Matthew Donald. Dale Bauer's just making his way over to us with a bit of pep in his step as well. This is a remarkable recovery as we welcome in the winning coach, Dale Bauer of the University Blacks, whose side has been superb this season after starting the year. And I think this was a discussion that we had on the podcast and through the broadcast. It was a 1-4 beginning to this year, and we did feel that it was D-Lar who was most likely to go down. Someone has to go down with you. We thought it could be the Blacks. Ever since I said that, they've won 5 in a row. And Dale Bauer, you're currently coaching a team that's inside the top 4 as the live ladder stands, with St Kevin's currently down by 6 goals against the Old Zaverians. Take us through that game.
Geez, it was tough. I thought we were in trouble. St Bernard's a really good contested side. And I thought early in the game they may have intimidated us a little bit around the footy, and we were fumbly and just couldn't execute anything in offence. And it was very similar to the way the game played out last year. But then in the third, we were able to sort of pick it up and improve our footy around the contest and stuff.
Yeah, so to talk about that third as well. So I think you're down by 20 points. Matthew Watson's only a shot on goal. And, he's an amazing kick of the footy. What was going through your mind there? Because that would have put you at the 27 points. You'd only kicked 29 points at that stage.
Yeah,
yourself.
I think they got to 26 at one point. They kicked one. I think maybe it was number 13 kicked one.
Yeah.
Yeah, McNichol kicked one, and that was
third.
26. And I thought it just felt like last year.
Yeah.
Because the third quarter last year we were about probably 10 points down. It just blew out, and it felt like that again. But we were just able to hang in there a bit, and then just sort of you could see the game starting to turn a bit, and we kept it really simple at half time. What we wanted to get better at.
Yeah.
And the boys picked it up and ran with it a bit. Yeah.
Two blokes there, Valpede and Vesio. They're exciting machines, and they just did some amazing things in that third quarter to get those couple of those just important little passages.
Yeah, they're both very talented players. Yeah. But both different in the way they play, but both talented. They're good lads. And Freddie's been at the Bulldogs for a few weeks and been in and out. Played with us against Scob when they had the bye, and then went back and came back to us this week. And we're really happy with his output. He's a talented player.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Dale, congratulations on the win. I want to go back to the start of the game, because the St Bernard's certainly got the jump on you. 5 goals in the opening part of the quarter. You managed to get a couple into the breeze, and they were both in the goal square, but that breeze was really strong early, and it was really tough to score into that end of the ground. What did you actually say at quarter time when it was all factored in?
Well, it was just really the fact that we'd hung in there, because when you're 5 goals down 20 minutes in with the wind, it can very quickly become 6, 7, 8, 9 goals. And if it gets to 8, 9 goals and you haven't scored, I don't know, if I was the opposition coach, you put numbers back behind the ball, it makes it pretty hard to come back. So we needed to be within 4 or 5, I felt like, to be really in the game. And to kick too late and be within 20 points was a good outcome for us in the end. And we could just see that bit of fight coming. And I thought in the second we just weren't able to execute very well. We were fighting harder, but I still thought they had the upper hand around the footy. Yeah.
So you fought your way back here, you fought your way back over the last couple of weeks. To the double bye, you get the Old Zavarians, a massive test at the University Oval, and then you finish before the Big V break with Old Haileybury also at the University Oval. You're now in the top 4. How does this now change the messaging and the feel around the footy club? Do you try and use it as a bit of an impetus, like you're in the mix, if you keep going you can be playing finals footy come September time? Do you start to try and offer that carrot to the players, focus on your process? What does it look like from here?
I think it's just given them a bit of belief in themselves, because they've been, as we talked about before the game, they've been sort of a young group growing for a long time, and we tend to add, when we recruit, we tend to add more young players, and at times I feel like we haven't had the belief, and it's a lot of us, the coaches, trying to instill that belief in the players, but now they're starting to get some real evidence that they can play at this level, they can compete against the best teams, and guys individually are improving, getting more confidence. So as a team, we just need to believe in ourselves, and if winning a few games in a row and being 4th helps that, it's important, but it's really important that we play the right way week in, week out, which we probably didn't do for the first half.
Yeah, so was that bit of the reasoning behind Moorfield rolling forward, and then the move I love, Macking going back, because they've got Matthew Watson down there. He didn't play on him. I think it was
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie got him, yeah. Moorfield had him early, and probably just didn't think it suited the way Watson was playing, hitting up, didn't suit Morph's game, and we'd had more forward last week and away back, and we felt like we'll probably we swapped it for certain reasons, and we thought we want to have the flexibility to flick them either end, which we haven't had in the past. So we just thought we'll just throw more forward and throw away back and see if we can get a better outcome there and get Snag onto Watson, who we thought was probably a better matchup with the way Watson was playing, because he's an interesting player. Like he'll hit up, but he's also strong in a one-on-one, so he's difficult to contain. But yeah, thought Snag was the right one for him, the way the game was going.
And just to follow on to that, not a bad lever to be able to pull, to have an intercepting mark player. He takes mark of the year probably. So.
Yeah. No, he's a talent as well, and Moorfield the other, at either ends. They're very different, but they're both very talented, and obviously Mackenzie's really come along too in the last couple of years, and is getting to that elite level now.
You'll have seen all the best marks the way Macking's taken. Where does this one rank today? Is that the best?
No, look, probably his best was the Scob game last year, where he went back with the flight, and I think he kicked the goal to put us in front, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So that one was pretty special, and that was
burned into my memory.
And that was you were there, I think, Paddy, and there was some good commentary with it.
Simon Petch blew the lid off the joint.
He did a good job. He did a good job. He really,
I think you'll find that when you go back through the video file, Matty Donald, he needed a cold shower and a lie down. He was giving it both barrels.
I'm glad you mentioned Petchy because we haven't brought him up enough today.
I was saying earlier, I reckon Petchy's had more mentions today than when he actually has the game called himself. Hello to Petchy, wherever you might be listening on. I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the Ballarat boys in Clark and then also Valpede. You've already touched on Valpede, gents, so we'll go with James Clark. We saw him as our best today.
Yeah.
A lot of time on the wing last year. He's added a great inside dimension to his game. He seems one of your most key midfielders, and especially when Kane Loftus was copying the hard tag, especially in that first half, he looked to really do the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, he's been, to be honest, he's probably been our best. He was our best 3 or 4 weeks in a row in that 4-week period where we won those few games, or now it's 5, but he's probably our best on ground 3 in a row. Last year he came to us and we were really happy to get him. We were sort of a bit of a tussle between us and Blues to get him. Played as a winger, had a lot of shoulder problems the previous year and didn't play much footy and had several operations, and so we thought to keep it safe we'd play him out on the wing to keep him sort of out of that, really hard contest stuff in the stoppages. And then this year, once, Lockie Knight was one of our key mids last year, he's gone overseas, and Henry Bennett was the other one who won our best and fairest. He's in Sydney working. So we just had a discussion and thought it was time to get him into the mids and go with that this year,
We're in the second half of the home and away season now. It's 5 wins in a row. You've beat some good teams there and you're in the top 4. How far can your team go this year?
I don't know.
Good answer.
Take a week at a time.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like, well, our goal was always to play finals. And now how far you go, who knows? Yes. But it's such an up and down season, and you do have to take it a week at a time, because every week a different challenge presents, a different team presents. You have different personnel issues. And problems will come up, with being able to cover personnel, and that's something that'll happen this week. So, I don't know. I'll just really go 1 week at a time and try to help the players prepare the best they can.
Yeah, so diplomatic response.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So just on the personnel thing, we all know, especially with coaching, the next couple of weeks and probably the next month, how's your availability that you know about? Because you understand the VFL stuff, that's so volatile, you can't control that. But you can't control.
We've got one guy who's going away for a couple of weeks, and that's it. But Jack Cassidy's copped a knock today, so and he's probably in concussion protocol, so that's probably him for 2 weeks. So 2 mids, so that's a challenge. Yeah. So that's the week. That's the week to week. Like Hugo as a coach, you have a good win, but then it's like, okay, we're going to get right for next week.
Dale, we'll let you go and enjoy this victory, mate. Congratulations on today's win, your recent run of form. All the best for what's to come.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks, boys.
Dale Bauer, the coach of the University Blacks, joins us in the commentary box to review a 22-point victory for the Blacks here at the Snake Pit. They're inside the top 4 as it stands right now, with a live game still going on VAFA.com.au, which you can watch as it finishes up there from Toorak Park. At the moment, it's the Zabs 84 leading St Kevin's 47. So it looks like the men in red and black are going to get one over their fierce rivals in the Scobbers. Raj Johnston has just come upstairs with us as well. We'll catch up with him. Before we do, we're kind of fresh, we're full of options for our goal and mark of the day, gentlemen. I'm going to let Matthew Donald talk me through the mark of the day, thanks to Careful Plus Auto Services, where you can contact Mitch and the team for a premium vehicle service at 27 Racecourse Road, North Melbourne. Matty, I won't ask you to recall your call of away macking screamer, but can you just confirm for me that we saw that one as our mark of the day today?
Well, I think as Hugo said, we all called it. We all called the mark at the same time, so I think that's got. There were some beauties taken today, though. Like it's an extensive shortlist, but head and shoulders above the rest, quite literally, away at Macking's terrific mark. It was an outstanding grab.
It was actually a chest mark in the end. He got that high.
Well, it was horizontal to the ground. It's a beauty. So, terrific mark.
I think if you can manage a half cartwheel 4 metres above the ground, you're going to be a tick, I think, for the mark of the day while holding on to the footy. Goal of the day is for Gallant Auctions and Valuers. For any auctions or valuations, you can contact St Bernard's Footy Club legend Jason Gallant. This one's a bit of a harder one to pick, Hugo Higginbotham. Where have you ended up on this one?
It was one of two. So it was Vesio, I thought, was an amazing goal, but I've got to give the Bernie something for today, so I'm going to give it to Lockie Papley, who I called Tom Papley in the call, so that's got him across the line there. It was very Tom Papley-esque.
He was super today, Lockie Papley. 3 goals in the first quarter, looked set for a big day, then copped a really nasty whack to the leg, and was pretty much hobbled from there on out with St Bernard's down a couple on the bench. Charlie Vague, the calf, Mitch Hughes, the concussion, Dylan Gwynn had an ankle. I think Nick Conlon looked to be a knee, so they had about 5 or 6 guys pretty sore today, Hugo.
And ironically, the one who finished the game was Tonji.
Tonji.
What's going on there?
I don't know how he managed to get through the game.
He'll win the 20 million tonight if that's like that. Then he'll lose his ticket. And so claim it. That's his luck.
That's very good. It's not bad from you, Hugo. And you've just mentioned here, Paddy, it's not just the fact that they were down players on the bench. That's some real quality that they've lost there. There's some of their most important players and some of their best. Vague, Hughes, who they virtually didn't have all game. And Papley, who was their live wire, their spark. They felt like halfway through the second quarter, he didn't offer much. And Conlon's very good in the air and couldn't move out of the goal square either. So there's some quality talent that they had to cope without for most of the game.
But in saying that too, if you want to play in finals, you've got to have your best team, and that's you need luck to win games of footy and to play in the finals. So I mean, it's one of those things that you don't have to be the best side, or you've got to be the best side on the day, and just keep doing that together. And that's unfortunately we hear about really good sides have a list of injuries, and that's why they're not up the top of the ladder. So that is footy.
As I've often been told, sometimes your best ability is availability.
I've never heard that before. Now I've heard it twice in 2 weeks. What's going on?
When Tullamarine flu season comes around, the analysts just start to hear that.
We just had an explosion in a cliche factory. They're going everywhere here.
Now, Hugo, something I wanted to mention. You are, of course, involved in the Premier B Division 3 Amos team that's going to be taking on the Bendigo Footy League up at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. A reminder to all our listeners that you can be a part of this year's Big V centenary celebrations at the Big V Gala Dinner, presented by City Power, the biggest event the Amateurs has ever put on. It's at Centrepiece, Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July, 6 p.m. Looking back at the history and the legacy of the Big V, past players, coaches and icons of the Amos will help us do it. And you can secure your place at the Big V Gala Dinner at vafa.com.au. That event is plastered literally all over the homepage. You cannot miss it, but if you somehow manage to, click through on the events tab. You can buy your tickets there. Big V Gala Dinner, presented by City Power, Thursday the 10th of July, Centrepiece, Melbourne Park. Be there. It will be a superb event. We had a few Big V potential representatives out there today. Campbell Moorfield we know about, Kane Loftus, Freddie Valpede of the Blacks, Mitch Hughes, unfortunately for St Bernard's, ruled out of the game very early. Who are some players that caught your eye who might be on the list of Daniel Harford for that final 22 to take on the Perth Footy League at Elstonwick Park in a few weeks' time?
Valpede, that's amazing. With that X factor, imagine a forward line with Valpede and Stefan Arcus. Geez, I'd be excited about that. But Snags McKenzie, that was an amazing game because Watson's one of the best players in the competition, and if he starts to turn it on, so I thought he was very good as well. Look, the players who miss out, that's going to be you can put that team together and go really well. So it's going to be a very exciting. And look, when I agreed to jump on board, I thought, how good's this? Now I'm starting to regret it because it's going to be that hard to pick a team. Like it's
going to be a lot of unlucky boys.
You know something as well.
And girls.
You have a few training sessions together, and every single one involved is an outstanding human being. So you sort of start to build a bit of a relationship and rapport with these. So it's getting, it sort of gets soft in my old age. What's going on with me?
You get out of coaching.
As a former back pocket player, just the thought of Valpede and Stefan Arcus in the forward line together is going to keep me up at night. It sounds like a really lethal.
You were a back pocket player.
I was a back pocket player.
A back pocket plumber. I don't believe it. I thought you was a dashing wingman.
When your surname's Donald at the Footscray Footy Club, you got one option and it's in the back.
Exactly,
You've seen a fair bit of the footy of it down there over the years.
Yes, that's very true.
Raj Johnston's done a supreme job on the boundary for us, as he has all year. Raj, how are conditions out there? How did you enjoy yourself?
I loved it, Paddy. This game was shaping up to be a great one on paper, and it certainly delivered. Plenty of four-legged friends on the boundary line. In addition to the two-legged snow dogs, we get four-legged canines, so that always makes it a bit more exciting.
It looked to be at one point there were more fit canines than actual snow dogs, unfortunately, with the way the hospital ward was going. The injury side of things for the snow dogs, how were things?
For them, yeah, plenty of players going down. The bench was reduced to, well, as Steve Alessio said, half a player at the start of the fourth term. They had to make some adjustments around that, so never like to see those injuries, all those players going down, but that's just footy, unfortunately.
Now, something I wasn't expecting out of today, gentlemen, was to learn about Raj Johnston's cricketing career. Because there's someone on the University Black staff who saw Raj from pretty much across the oval and made a beeline to him to discuss your right or left arm?
Right arm.
Right arm dibbly-dobblers for the Elwood Cricket Club?
Yep.
Tell me more, because I simply must know.
Not a long story. No, that's the Uni Blacks forward coach, Zach, who I've played with at Elwood on and off over the years. No, it's not a long story to tell, Paddy. No, cricket's a great game, good fun in the summer, but no professional.
I was giving you the opportunity to really get yourself on a flight to the West Indies.
Very humble here.
Top score?
Oh, not that good. Stick to the bowling.
I'm glad I asked.
Well, just got to say, Raj, you're doing a great job as part of the team, but to continue on, you're going to have to talk yourself up, because we're not self-deprecating here. We're a bunch of rampant liars, and we actually, there's any achievement, any underachievement, we make an overachievement in this commentary team. So let's just go with that, and you just next build it up. But very impressed by your one-liner today too about
come back to bite them.
Come back to bite them.
He's deceptive, Arman Raj.
Yes. So just like his slow medium leg breaks.
Yeah. Paddy said Conlon was looking a bit ginger, and I thought Conlon had red hair for a bit, so I don't know that, but it looks a bit too blonde.
You always get a red haired reference in every goal.
It's a dirty blonde.
Blonde.
As we finish up,
a story about that. That's really good time.
That might be once we get off there. So it's the Uni Blacks 11-8-74 victors by 22 points over St Bernard 7-10-52. A reminder of the goal kickers Vesio and St Clair with 2 apiece for the Blacks. Cassidy, Clark, Aleo, Valpede, O'Neill, Grocott and Moorfield all with singles. For the Snow Dogs, 3 for Papley all in the first term. Tommy Sullivan, the one in number 8, with one goal also for Vague, Delizio and McNichol. The other winners around the competition, Scotch beat Delar. Old Brighton defeated Haileybury by a point. It looks like the Zabs are going to do it over St Kevin's. They're currently up by 37 points on vafa.com.au at 2:30pm bounce, which is why that game is still going. And a second straight draw for the Blues, 46 apiece with Collegians. It leaves us with the Blacks inside the top 4 for the first time in the 2025 season. Dale Bauer's men are in hot form. They've won 5 in a row, and who knows what the rest of the season might hold for them. Hugo Higginbotham, thank you for your company today.
Thanks, Paddy. It was a great call, great game, and it's an exciting season we've got here on our hands. So,
Matthew Donald, a pleasure as always.
Paddy, wouldn't rather be anywhere else on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you for your time. It's been a blast.
And Raj Johnston, I hope you enjoyed the Canine Company down by the boundary.
I did, and well called team. I can't wait for the next one.
Thanks to all our callers today on vafa.com.au and the SEN app and SEN website. We hope you have enjoyed the William Buck SEN Match of the Day. Big thank you to Jason Bennett back at VAFA HQ, and of course, as always, our man Bruce on the buttons, who keeps us on air even when perhaps we probably shouldn't be, by admittance of all of us. We'll catch you next weekend from 1:45pm for the VAFA SEN Match of the Day.
It's the greatest podcast in the history of the world. It goes high up and under the full 40.
A bounce, he crosses 50, he pins the ears back, and he drills the goal!
All the latest news and views from around the VAFA.
Here's the big man! He's done it again! Oh, this bloke extracts some of the finest!
All thanks to Mequicare, proud partner of the VAFA.
Makes a name for himself with these long bombs from outside the arc. It's a long bomb from outside the arc!
This is for the love of the game.
You can tweet that and hashtag it bloody good.
This is for the love of the game. Welcome everyone to another weekly edition of the VAFA podcast. Thanks to Mequicare, 16,500 people across Victoria. They help each and every week. Great to be alongside Cal Cummins and Matty Donald, 2 young rising stars of our VAFA media competition. Gentlemen, welcome.
Jace, thank you. For a long-time listener, first-time panellist. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, no, Jace, mate, it's a pleasure to be on, and I'm looking forward to it today.
We're going to jump straight into Premier Men's. It left back to life with an afternoon of great contest across Melbourne. St Bernard's and University Blues. Well, the first time they played in round one, it was decided after the siren with a goal to Joey Agresta. We thought, gee, possibly, and you're out there as you headed to the stake pit, Matty, it couldn't possibly be any tighter than that. But it turned out to be an incredible draw.
Oh, yeah, no, I think in terms of the drama that was behind it, it was one of the games of the year. It just ebbed and flowed throughout, and that last quarter was as hectic as I've seen all season. Terrific game.
Well, it was the sort of game that give coaches grey hairs, and one man who joins us now, I hope he's recovered. The heart rate's got back to normal, is St Bernard's coach Steve Alessio. G'day, Sess.
G'day, guys. Haven't quite recovered from the game on the weekend, but certainly was a close one.
It was a crazy final term. I know, watching the game, Uni Blues had like 4 shots at goal to try, and any of those scores would have done. And then Caven went down the other end for you guys, and he couldn't score either. From a coaching perspective, what was going through your mind in that last quarter?
You're just hoping for a score. I think we had a couple of late stoppages not far out from goal as well. Yeah, someone throw the ball on the boot and just try to get over the line to get that 1 point each. It wasn't to be, but the conditions were pretty tricky on the day. There was a fair early breeze coming through, and I know it wasn't only the Blues at that end who missed a couple of as well. Probably missed shots they should have got at that school end.
Steve, Matthew Donald here, and you mentioned the breeze was a huge factor. I think of the 14 goals kicked, 11 of them were kicked to one end of the ground. Going with the breeze in the final term, you were chasing down a 7-point deficit. Draws I find are always fascinating in terms of how they're viewed from one side or the other. Does it feel like 2 points gained or 2 points lost for you?
I think the way I framed it with the boys after the game is look at it across both games. Luckily enough, we were able to win the first one and get 2 out of the second one. So if you look at our Uni Blues over the year so far, that's 6 out of 8 points. You probably take that as a coach with any team. So it's always, I've been involved in a couple myself during my football days. It's always a different feeling.
This has been the SEN Match of the Day. Thanks to William Buck. Join us again next week on the SEN app, sen.com.au and vafa.com.au.
Keep up to date with everything that's happening around the VAFA by subscribing to our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, LinkedIn and TikTok. Join in the fun with the best pics, videos, stories and reels from around the competition. Send us your best and we might share them around the league. VAFA Socials. Search VAFA and VAFA Women's on your favourite platforms.
Tickets are now on sale for the VAFA's 2025 Big V Gala Dinner presented by City Power. It's a landmark event, the largest function the VAFA has ever staged, and it's celebrating 100 years of Big V representative football. This historic evening will serve as the official opening to the Rep Football Weekend, offering a unique opportunity to honour the legacy of the Big V and its enduring significance within the VAFA community. The Big V Gala Dinner will bring together past players, coaches, club representatives and supporters to reflect on a century of tradition, achievement and pride. The evening promises to be one of the most significant in the VAFA's history. You don't want to miss it. It's at Centrepiece at Melbourne Park, Thursday the 10th of July 2025. Tickets now on sale at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans